it's still, to me, from day one with this has been, I just need him there week one. I don't care what it takes to get him there to week one. It means putting him in bubble wrap. I mean, heck, before he even got hurt at camp, we had a discussion. Once we knew Rice was likely to get suspended by week one, I didn't want to see Hollywood Brown in a game. Obviously, didn't want him getting hurt in a training camp practice either. So, yeah, I understand the worry. It's just, to me, if we find out that the week of Brazil game against the Chargers, the week before, he's out there at Arrowhead or in the practice facility outside of Arrowhead, then we're good. And then, yes, you hope that he can stay healthy at minimum, for the duration of whatever that suspension looks like for Rice.
I will say, though, if, he gets through 2 weeks of the regular season, then misses the next two, I'm going to start talking about, Hunter Harvey. I'm done discussing you if you can't be on the football field.
Yeah.
Because there is a portion of, that will exist eventually. I'm not saying it does now, but it does exist eventually where it's you've been here multiple years and I haven't seen you play. And so at some point you will kick that up. But you know what? For now, I don't care he's not practicing.
Honestly,
it is what it is for now.
It really is not. it becomes worrisome in 3 weeks. That's kind of where I'm at. And the importance of why in these preseason games, I don't think we're going to see Xavier Worthy much at all because same story. You got to make sure he's available. Mm-hmm. He can't have anything come up all of a sudden on Friday night in Seattle. He has a small injury or something, and then all of a sudden he's in doubt. So they got to be careful at the wide receiver spot. Your depth can get tested pretty quick when you have a player that we all know eventually is going to miss some time. I'm talking about Rashee Rice.
This is our last day up at training camp, so we'll make a simple point. You and I, we've been up here for a huge chunk of Chiefs training camp this year in St. Joe, and I was asking myself last night, and I was trying to think about it pretty simply, which is what was my biggest takeaway from said camp, right? What were the things that will stick with me as things I will continue to be yeah, it went back to that. And there were two, really, that stood out to me. One was, I think, the incredible work that Travis Kelce put in the offseason to once again be the kind of factor he has been in this offense, which is why I think he's back to being a 1,000-yard guy, and the offensive line getting settled so fast at left tackle that at least I can go into the season with some level of confidence. I can still have my reservations about what happened the last time I went into the season thinking they had solved left tackle, but these are higher draft pick, higher upside, and I think more glowing reports of Simmons' play so far that I'm having a hard time not thinking that those are the biggest takeaways I'll have from all of camp this year.
So I agree with you on the last one. I'm totally right there with you. I don't know how anybody that's been at any camp practice or covered the team
that's
so
not
far,
one of the takeaways. Yeah.
Josh Simmons firmly taking control of the left tackle job immediately. Being available was the first hurdle. Now we're not talking health. We are just talking about how effective is he going to be immediately. I saw some more comments yesterday from Patrick Mahomes. He was on with Kay Adams saying that he's got a chance to be the best left tackle in football. This guy, I think, is going to be in the real deal. I understand people are skeptical because of Kingsley last year. I just would once again say, to me, completely different player. We aren't talking about the questions around him being, is he raw? Is he developmental project? That was what we were saying with Kingsley. We all knew that. It was always about health, and right now it looks like the health question is behind us with Simmons. So that's the biggest story that finally, maybe they have finally found the franchise left tackle for Patrick Mahomes. That's a huge story. The other one for me would actually be the wide receiver room. We were discussing Hollywood Brown and stuff, but it's the fact that with Rice missing time, with Hollywood Brown's injury questions, Tyquan Thornton, for the first time, I don't know if he'll be our official camp darling this year or not, but for the first time, a name that people were mentioning all offseason might actually have a real impact. In the past,
it might be a small one, but a Justin Watson level impact.
Exactly. In the past, it was talk about Fortson and Ross, and these guys ended up with 100 yards, okay? There's a chance Tyquan Thornton has a couple touchdowns in 275 to 350 because he's a deep threat down the field if Hollywood Brown misses time. If they need to work something in with Rice being out as well. So to me, it's that Tyquan Thornton wasn't on the bubble ever. From day one, he was firmly basically a guy that we all know making the roster. Now the question on the bubble is on the back end of the wide receiver room. It's with guys like Nico Remigio, Jason Brownlee, and whether or not those two are going to find a way on the roster, which one of those two. And Sky Moore, we didn't think he was making the team come into camp, so I'm not going to act like we're surprised by the lack of ability from him here.
I do wish we had gotten out of camp and I would have felt better about the defensive line, assured gold that they are going back to the defensive line from 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I'm not saying it can't be that, but I'm certainly not coming out of camp saying that, right? I'm not like, here we go, defensive line is back. No. I still have the normal faith I have in Chris Jones and George Karlaftis, and a whole hell of a lot of unknowns. Can Mike Dana be the 5-sack guy from a couple of years ago? Can Gelati and Omar Norman Lott contribute? I'll find out eventually. I was kind of hoping, kind of like the offensive line, that would be one of my big takeaways from the camp, is that the defensive line can get it, and it's just not that. That's just like not where I am, where they are. I was kind of hoping that would be a portion of the story. But I don't think, and I know that like we're going to talk about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce here in a minute, I do think there is something to, and I just read the entire, before the show started, I read Travis Kelce's GQ article.
Hey,
yes,
on the cover.
He is also on the cover of GQ, if he's not having a big enough week, I guess. It was announced that he was on the cover of that after, all the Taylor stuff, which we'll talk about here in just a minute. But I do think in that article he cites what I think we all know, which is, in retrospect, he's saying the last 2 years, it's not that he wasn't working hard, but the work he put in the offseason wasn't up to what the standard he thinks it needed to be in order to be to be Travis Kelce. And this offseason, as we could probably see just based on the way he's moving and operating in training camp alone and the way he looks in these things, that he did take it very seriously this offseason. So if this is his last year, that man's coming to play for like the whole damn thing. And he is ready and prepared to do that once again. And unlike Hollywood Brown, the one thing I'll say about Travis Kelce is Travis Kelce's one of his best qualities is that man's nothing but available. I mean, he's the most available player in the NFL at his position, certainly. There are other good, Sam Laporta's a good tight end. George Kittle's a good tight end. Those guys miss time. Like, Travis Kelce hasn't missed time in a decade, essentially. He missed that one game, and we were like, my.
He missed the opener against the Lions a couple years ago. That was about it.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, that.
And he was still back by week 2.
Yeah, that was about it, and that was a weird knee bruise, like, within 2 days before the season started or something like that.
He hyperextended it or something, didn't he?
I think it was just a bone bruise.
Oh, that's what it was.
The worry was he hyperextended. I think it was just a serious bone bruise 2 days before that Thursday night kickoff game where they didn't have Kelce or Chris Jones, remember? The Chiefs lost that football game.
Barely.
And they still went on to win the Super Bowl that year, so it all worked out. But yes, by the way, we are at training camp, brought to you by Break Time, Missouri's homegrown convenience stores. Download their mobile app and find a location near you. Last night, there was quite some news. During the day, everybody, including this show, and I'm sure every single sports talk show in Kansas City at some point in time, was discussing what was going to happen with New Heights because they sent out a teaser, and the silhouette sure looked like Taylor Swift.
And so we said yesterday,
so everybody's like, she's going on the show. And then we're like, is she unveiling a new album? Is she, like, are they getting engaged? What's going on in this thing? Last night around, 7 o'clock or so, they announced that she's coming on the podcast with a clip. This clip, by the way, teasing it.
So I wanted to show you something.
Okay. What do we got?
We got,
A briefcase.
Yep.
Mint green with TS on it.
Yep.
What's in it?
This is my brand new album, The Life of a Showgirl.
TS12!
Yeah.
So that was the clip about the album. We can get there in a second. There was another clip where they announced she was coming on the show.
Such a nice color on you.
Yes, I know. It's the color of your eyes, sweetie. That's why we match so well.
We're about to do a podcast.
So tomorrow night, Taylor Swift, who never does podcasts, is going on New Heights with Jason and Travis. Obviously, they already recorded the episode, but we'll all get to watch it for the first time and listen to it for the first time. And then, yes, as you heard from the first clip, she also announced she's got a brand new album that's coming out, her 12th album. And she announced it on their podcast. That is
12.
Cody, that is going to be one of the most downloaded podcasts and viewed YouTube videos ever. I'm not saying it's not going to break the YouTube record because I'll go through. There's some big ones. Podcasts, though, she's got a shot. They've got a shot.
I would honestly, at this point, be stunned if that is not the most listened to podcast episode of all time. And honestly, was this her idea? Whose idea was this? Because I don't think you as Travis can request that. You know she's working on an album. You know it's coming out soon. You guys are in a relationship. You're fully aware of the things that are taking place inside her music stuff. That's cool. But you can't just be like, yo, want to announce the album on my podcast for the first time ever that you show up on it as a guest? Because that is maybe the single biggest boost a podcast. And that podcast is already one of the most popular ones on the planet.
They got a $100 million deal.
But it's already one of the most popular ones on the planet. The fact that Taylor Swift is going to unveil the cover art for her brand new album and use their platform to help promote the fact that she has a brand new album as one of the most popular artists on the planet. My God, Travis's life is just
It's a hell of a
different.
week.
It's just different now.
It's a hell of a life that he lives. But no, I was looking up just because I'm with you that there's a chance it could break a record, if not come
it really
close.
could.
If you were looking just on YouTube views, this is where I don't think there's any way they'll be number one. Okay, I mean, like there's some of these you'll listen and you'll be like, okay, there's no way they're breaking these, but how close can they get? Podcast wise, they could do 90. You know, they could get to a number that matches some of these. But for YouTube, the most YouTube views right now, State Funeral of Queen Elizabeth, 4.1 billion. Okay, it's not going to have 4.1 billion views. Okay,
I don't think so.
Michael Jackson's memorial service had 2.5 billion views. It's not going there. The funeral of Princess Diana, 2.5 billion viewers as far as on the clip.
Sensing a theme.
The Live Aid concert from 1985, 1.9 billion viewers. CMG Spring Festival Gala 1.1 billion. State Funeral of John F. Kennedy, 300 million. Apollo 11 moon landing, 650 million. O.J. Simpson verdict, 150 million U.S. viewers. Wedding of Prince William and Kate Middleton, 122.
A lot of royal family stuff.
Super Bowl halftime show, LIX, from this past one, so this was Kendrick Lamar, had 133 million.
Well,
so,
I mean, he did publicly call someone a pedophile, so that tracks.
I guess what I'm getting at is I don't think they're going to make the top 10 of all-time YouTube views. Podcasts are going to be in top 5 because that to me is way more achievable. You could get, for example, Joe Rogan with Elon Musk had 69 million YouTube views. You can get to that number, I think. But that's, to me, the range. 50 to 80 million views is what I'll put it at.
I mean, that's crazy. I mean, that's just – it's –
If anybody has bad news to release tomorrow at 7 o'clock, so, like, if the NFL wants to announce Rashee Rice's suspension, the Chiefs would love that.
You going to watch it live?
I don't know about live. No, I'll watch it
tomorrow
7?
night. I thought it was 6.
Is it 7 Eastern?
No, it might be 6. I don't know. I don't remember which.
Live, I don't know. No, I will watch it tomorrow night. I don't know if I'm like, oh, my gosh, I'll watch it tomorrow night.
Honestly, just having her on the podcast alone. They've been doing the podcast for a long time. They've been together for years now. She's never come on as a guest. People have predicted other times she might come on. You're like, okay, I get it, right? You don't want to – but he's appeared on stage.
Yeah.
So, like, why can't she be a part of his work? And she chose – like, I wonder if they played this the long game anyway. She chose for the first appearance to let it be
Genius.
her
She's
releasing.
a very smart marketer.
Well, it's not just – it's – like, she could have announced it anywhere. And it would have been incredibly
I know,
popular.
but they're a thing, though.
But
so it's
yeah,
not like
it's
not just a solo thing anymore. They are
they're a power couple.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that's benefiting both of them.
Yeah, I mean, geez, it's just so crazy to me. When you see that stuff last night, and you see all the Taylor Swift fans kind of losing their mind for it, you're like, okay, I'm sure it'll have a couple of hits on it. There's no doubt about that.
Oh,
she's a very popular
Did
artist.
you see last night? Now that you can just
My daughter didn't ask to order the album or anything.
The vinyl, so you can just go to the site now and pre-order it, no problem. But last night when it first dropped, if you went there was a 75-minute wait on the queue to pre-order the vinyl last night.
You got any big Taylor Swift fans in your life? Your sister's a big.
They haven't gone to a concert of hers, but they like Taylor Swift.
Okay,
I don't know. Honestly, though, like other than the weird football dudes that freak out when she's on camera and get triggered for some weird reason, I don't know who doesn't acknowledge the talent of Taylor Swift and hasn't enjoyed a song or two of hers ever. I don't care who you are.
I mean,
I'm not saying you have to go nuts and have friendship bracelets on and go to concerts, but like
you can do that too.
Sure, but you're asking just who's fans. I'm just saying, like in general, who's not somewhat of a fan of hers.
No, I mean, I think that there are probably people. There's people that are like, I don't understand, and the normal fanfare stuff. I think that there's a lot of people probably laying in your category, which is like, yes, she has some popular songs. And if given a ticket, I would go to her show. But you're probably not also, making 400 friendship bracelets and doing that. Although, if she makes a new Eras tour, we had an idea on this show that I still think would be very good.
She's got a new album. She's probably going to have a new world tour in within 5 years, don't you think?
Okay, great. Well, if we're still doing this show and you're still available, we're having a conversation about what it is.
We've talked about the idea on the show.
I have. We wanted to. We approached it too late.
Can we get back to sports, please, Cody? Please, someone's very upset with you right now on the text line. Get back to sports, man. How dare you talk about anything other than sports for 4 minutes, talking about, by the way, the tight end of the Kansas City Chiefs in his podcast is sports. But anyway.
I'll get back to that in a minute. I will not be peer pressured by the text line.
But no, Cody, you have to.
But we approached it too late. But we had an idea where we would get a ticket, a +1, to go with Alex Gold to a Taylor Swift concert, and all you had to do was show up in the parking lot to speed date him. So like a line of women, a line of people who would get 30 to 60 seconds to make their case for why they should go to the Taylor Swift concert with Alex, and then we would eventually choose a winner on the air, which I think would have been a lot of fun. I also think the line would have been crazy.
The amount of people, that would have been quite the scene. Would have been quite the scene.
Going out here breaking hearts.
Oh, man, it would have been incredible.
I told Cody, though, Cody didn't understand, though. I said there has to be an age range, is what I tried to explain to Cody.
Well, yeah.
21 or older, because you have to have contest rules.
It's got to be 21 or older, but also it's got, like.
I don't think we're allowed legally
but that's
to
where
limit.
I'm saying.
I think a 90-year-old, you could say that you got a low chance, but I think you got to let the 90-year-old lady make her case.
Yeah, I think we would have some people doing some wild things in the quick 30-second speed date.
Doing what? Like creating a song? Great.
No,
This
I think
is
there would be people trying to like flash the cameras. I think it could turn into a mess.
Oh man,
You're out here assuming the worst in people, Gold. The most.
For Taylor Swift tickets, people will do a lot of things.
He's at
a lot of things.
It's getting bleak in here.
Gold, I'm gonna be honest, and I think Cody might agree with this as well as the text line. If a 90-year-old did show up, you have to take her. You have to take her to the concert.
I don't.
I don't think you have a choice.
I think to give her. I think to give everyone a fair chance.
If a 90-year-old shows up and wants to go see Taylor Swift, you take the 90-year-old to go see Taylor Swift. You just do it.
We talked about this. We talked about this too because Alex was like, "Well, it should only be women." I said, "No, we can't discriminate based on sex." Because I said, "You got to think about this from this perspective." Going to a Taylor Swift concert, as let's say a single man made his case for why he should be your +1. That's got to be one of the
spoiler,
better.
I'm not taking a dude with me to go to the
I just got to say,
concert.
that has got to be one of the better places to be single, looking for someone on the planet.
Right, but why would I take another guy with me to a
He's a
Taylor
wingman
Swift
for you.
concert?
He's
That
agreeing to
makes no
wingman
sense.
for you.
Yeah,
There's
good.
more. That's instead of taking one person, you could take. There are many people around you who could be available. Maybe that person could help out. I'm saying don't limit your options. That's all.
Text line thinks Tony Dungy's listening to our show based on the text. That's probably true. That's a good call. Remember, Tony Dungy was very upset that the NFL has been promoting Taylor Swift.
I kind of forgot
very
about
upset.
that. He's being a cranky old man. Fair enough. But we're up at training camp. We'll talk more Chiefs football here in a minute. We'll talk to Royals general manager J.J. Piccolo coming up in just a few minutes as well. But final day at training camp, which means final day from Cloudy with a Chance.
With your training camp forecast, I'm meteorologist Cloudy with a Chance, and it's going to be beautiful for the last day of training camp. Partly sunny with highs in the lower 80s. To be honest, I've had fun doing this for you fellas. Despite all the shots I took at you, you do a good job with your little show there. What the heck? Get yourself a snow cone on me. You earned it. And I'll pay you back for that snow cone after I've been paid for these reports. Checks in the mail, right? I'm meteorologist Cloudy with a Chance for Cody and Gold on 96.5 The Fan.
Wow,
Did
final
we budget
weather.
out Cloudy's reports?
I heard the condensation there when he said that little show there.
Yeah,
I heard that.
I did hear that. I will say, though, as far as the paycheck, Drew's handling that. So, Cloudy, you can get in touch with Drew. Drew's handling all the budgeting.
He handles the accounting on this show.
Yep, so if you need your paycheck, Drew will eventually get taken care of, I'm sure. Get that figured out.
Hang on a second. If it's Cloudy that's doing the reports and I'm in charge, I am Cloudy, so I need to get paid, a little bit.
But you're not Cloudy. You're trying to steal his money?
For those that are wondering, I'm not going to tell you who it is, but I will tell you once again, 100%. It is not Cody. It's not me. And it's not Drew.
It's
and
nobody
I don't feel
at
like
the
I've seen any
station.
correct guesses on the text line.
And also, it is not AI. We've had a few. It is not AI.
It's not AI. Yeah.
So it is a real person. I can 100% say it's a real person, but that's all I'll say. That's it. And yes, you're right. Not a single person has guessed correctly. People have guessed other people in the building.
People guess Bink.
Nobody's get. It's not Bink either. But that's it. And it's not Spec, and I'm done confirming or denying. But that's those are the people. It's definitely not.
But it is somebody. It is a real person.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Cloudy with a Chance. Maybe we'll make an appearance for the Monday night Commanders game in October or something, depending on the weather forecast.
Somebody says the single guy at the Taylor Swift might throw up creep vibes. So, so maybe that wouldn't work. So what, you can't just enjoy a good show?
Yeah.
If you're a fan of Taylor Swift, then you're a fan of Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you only throw off creep vibes if you are acting like a creep. Now, in fairness, I'm saying a guy wingman for you, and then you're essentially just like he's approaching women near you. That might put off a creep vibe, in fairness. Man, she puts on another concert in the next couple of years. I'm going to be pushing hard for this.
My guess is with this album, and then I'm assuming she'll have another one in a couple of years, like she'll probably have another tour in the next 5.
Yeah, well, that's probably fair. I would guess sooner rather than later, we're probably in that same category. For those who are up at training camp, we are witnessing what appears to be a much lighter practice overall. Patrick Mahomes working now on the opposite side of the field, just going through simple 7-on-7 stuff, working out of backfield passes and stuff like that. It's been a pretty, health-wise, I don't know that you can be, overly offended by the amount of injuries. They've had injuries, like most teams, but nothing that would scare you into, they're in deep, deep trouble or they've got real serious things to solve right now. They did bring an extra running back into camp today, but that feels like kind of a
it's because they had 2
practice
roster
squad,
spots.
and they had a couple of roster spots.
When Deion Bush went on IR and some other injuries that they've had, so it opened up that. And remember, these are many years ago. We would be talking about multiple cut downs. It's all one now. It's not the same. Did you like that when we had we would have had a cut down yesterday or something or today?
I get why the teams would just prefer everybody practice
much
and then
easier
do it
for
in one
them.
fell swoop. I kind of liked it because it added a little drama. Because for each cut down, you saw the players in the first cut that never were going to matter.
Yeah.
The second cut, the players who had a chance to matter, but a low chance. And then you start getting down to the who's going to be the final cut. Who are these guys on the fringe versus now it's all in one fell swoop. Yeah, I kind of like the small cut down.
Yeah, so we'll have to wait until after the preseason ends before we get any cut down and things like that. But you're right, it's been a fairly, I don't want to jinx anything, it's been a fairly healthy camp for the Chiefs, and you want it to be quiet in that regard. Can they get through this next preseason game? That, to me, the second one's always the one I get nervous about because your starters will play a little bit more. That's the one where you're a little more exposed. And then you already...
Although, a quarter? He's not playing a half.
No. Andy's probably going to say he's going to play a half, but he'll actually play a quarter.
He'll say 3 quarters, and it'll be a quarter into play.
Yeah. Something like that. All right, up next, guys, let's talk a little Royals baseball. JJ Piccolo, Royals general manager, is going to join us. We'll talk about the urgency of the team right now, plus a couple guys that really struggle to stay healthy. That's next.
This is Cody in Gold, brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. Tune in to hear Royals insider Josh Vernier every Wednesday at 12:30.
We need to nip this in the bud. We need to
nip what in the bud?
On your home for Royals baseball, 96.5, The Fan.
What's up, guys? It's Drew. Could you use a little bit of extra help in the bedroom? We all could. Blue Chew is there to help. Your partner wants you to do whatever it takes to make your sex life better, and Blue Chew is that secret weapon for the bedroom or wherever you decide to get it on. The Chiefs, they're in training camp. They're getting after it. They're trying to train and get their bodies ready for the start of the season here in about a month. What if you didn't need any training to improve your performance and be at your best when it is time to perform? I'm talking about Blue Chew. Turn oh no into oh yes. And if you don't like chewing tablets, that's perfectly fine because Blue Chew tablets are chewable. They're an online prescription service. There's no awkward visits or conversations at the doctor's office, no waiting in line at the pharmacy. It ships right to your door in a discreet package. And if you want a great offer, free sounds good, right? Go to BlueChew.com and get your first month free when you use our promo code KFNZ at checkout. Just pay $5 in shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code KFNZ to receive your first month free. Then you'll be ready to chew it and do it.
If you have back-to-school shopping to do, then you should make Macy's your first stop because Macy's has back-to-school styles from brands like Nike and Jordan, must-have denim from Levi's and Good American, and now Macy's has Abercrombie Kids too. It's all in one place, all at great prices. And here's another reason to come in. If you're already at Macy's and you saved so much, you could stop by the fragrance counter and pick up something for yourself too. The best back-to-school styles are here now at Macy's.
Thank you, KC, for voting Century Roofing the best roofing company in the Metro in the Star's 2025 KC Favorites competition. After 35 years, we're giving back to you by extending our free material upgrade sale through the end of the year. Get a free upgrade to impact-resistant shingles with any roof replacement for better protection and possible insurance savings. Trust the best, Century Roofing. Visit CenturyRoofingKC.com for your free estimate today.
Century Roofing, trust the pillars of strength.
Century Roofing, we've got you covered, KC.
Need to sell your house in Kansas City but not sure where to start? Selling a home can feel overwhelming,
especially if you're facing foreclosure, a divorce, an inherited property you don't want, or just need to move quickly. But you don't have to figure it out alone. Rex Buys KC is here to help. As a local home buyer, I understand the Kansas City market inside and out. My family and I live right here, so I know the neighborhoods, the trends, and the challenges homeowners face. That's why I take a consultative approach, helping you explore your options and find the best path forward. We buy houses in any condition, no need for repairs, no agent commissions, and no hidden fees. You'll receive a fair cash offer with a closing timeline that works for you. Whether that's in as little as 7 days or at your own pace, just a simple, hassle-free process designed around your needs. If you're ready to talk through your options, call me today at 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Let's find the right solution for you. Rex Buys KC. Local, fair, and focused on you.
Don't let clogged drains slow you down. Call Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter today for our $79 mainline drain cleaning special. The pros at Hamilton will inspect your drains with video camera technology to pinpoint exactly what is needed to clear those clogs and help prevent expensive drain repairs. The expert technicians at Hamilton are ready 7 days a week to solve your problem the right way, the first time. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 5-star reviews ensures your peace of mind. Visit callhamilton.com for details, terms, and conditions. License number 2025-11121.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Back to school is on the brain. That means new notebooks, pencils, new everything. And while the kids are getting ready to get book smart, it's time for you to save smart with Straight Talk Wireless. Switch now and get a free Moto G 2025 with 5G when you activate select plans. Now that's a smart call. Get Straight Talk covered by Verizon's 5G network. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Offer valid through 10/19/25. Taxes and fees apply. Purchase of gold unlimited plan or higher required for offer. Must activate the plan in-store at Walmart. Cannot be combined with other offers.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If Old Spice Deep Sea Super Hydration Body Wash were music, what would it sound like? Start with the deep sounds of Old Spice's ocean waves and kelp. Layer on the smooth, renewing moisture. You wouldn't hear any parabens or phthalates because Old Spice Deep Sea hasn't got any. But you would hear that vitamin B3 for healthier looking skin. So while your regular body wash sounds like this, Old Spice sounds like this. Sounds like it smells amazing.
Jorge, let's bring the nail gun over here.
Jose stands tall atop his sustainable flooring company.
Totally. It's renewable and moisture resistant, but we have several green options too. Or we got some beautiful reclaimed oak.
But floored by his success, he needs to hire more installers.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Now that I'm a dad, I can't stop thinking about what would happen to my kids if something happened to me, like losing the house or not affording college.
Yeah, that used to keep me up at night too. It's why I finally got life insurance from Ethos. It's 100% online. No medical exams, just a few health questions. I got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day.
I never realized it was that simple. Get your free quote at ethos.com/life. That's ethos.com/life.
Rates may vary. Bill monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
The technicians you can trust with your house keys. Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
Even on weekends and holidays, Anthony shows up. Expect reliable HVAC, plumbing, or electric service, plus a new HVAC system from $150 a month. Schedule your free consultation at anthonyphce.com.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Back here in St. Joe, it's Cody and Gold, final day of Chiefs training camp practice, at least for us. Tomorrow they've got a shorter practice. It's also Military Appreciation Day. We are expected to have Nate Taylor join us after practice a little bit later on in the 11 o'clock hour, but I want to pivot to the Royals a little bit. Obviously, a big win last night against the Washington Nationals out at Kauffman Stadium when we welcome in the general manager and the Vice President of Baseball Operations for the Royals, J.J. Piccolo, here on 96.5 The Fan. I know from the outside it's easy for us, J.J., to be like, all right, you guys got to win X amount of games during this time frame and all that. I'm sure the players obviously don't look ahead like that, but do you sense the urgency as you guys are headed in this final stretch and obviously recognize where you guys are at in the standings and the wild card chase?
Well, there's urgency in the sense that there's just over 40 games left in the season, so you got to make a move at some point. But at the same time, if we're thinking about what our record is on September 15th, and here we are on August 12th, we're probably making a mistake. We got to go night to night, and tonight's the most important game of the season, and tomorrow afternoon will be the most important game of the season, and that's the way we've got to play it out the rest of the year. But we just got to take every day in stride and do the best we can and try to put ourselves in a position to somehow get into this wild card spot.
JJ, you mentioned the mistake stuff. What would you say is the cause between this year, what seems to be a sloppier baseball team, right? Base running errors or mental mistakes or things I don't feel like we're as accustomed to from the team last year, where it felt like those things were more buttoned up. Because I think about the 4 games you guys are part in a wild card game, and I feel like I can find those games for you guys, and some of those games where the mistakes that don't have to happen, not you strike out, but just a mental mistake.
Well, there's no doubt that we've made a lot of mistakes that have really hurt our chances to win a ball game. And it's no secret our offense has struggled this year. I mean, we've been talking about it all season, and when you're not necessarily clicking on all cylinders on offense, you better play good defense. You better run the bases well. You got to do all the other things right. Fortunately, our pitching has given us the opportunity to even talk about the playoffs right now. But we do believe the bats will come around. But whether the bats come around or not, or the pitching sustains what it's doing, we cannot make some of the mistakes that we've made over the last, magnified here the last 10 games or so, because it's, really is damaging to your chances to win a game. And, we've talked about it with the coaches, and how do you explain it? I know our processes are no different, and I'd say even better than they were last year. Our results haven't been as good. So why is that? And I think what's happening is because there's been some expectations this year, as a team that went through one season in the playoffs, you start putting more pressure on yourself, and you're trying to force things. We don't need to force things. We need to play smart baseball. So whether it's a miscue in the field or a missed opportunity on the base paths, we have to eliminate those mistakes, because sound baseball is something that we take a lot of pride in throughout our organization, from the minor leagues on up to the major leagues. And we haven't been as sound this year as we were last year, hence our record. And that's just the way the game works. We can have all the data and information and all the great game planning that goes on, but if you don't play good baseball, you're not going to win. That's the bottom line. It's the major leagues, and you can't make multiple mistakes in a game, because it's going to cost you. The other team is a talented team as well.
How do you fix it mid-year, I guess, if that makes sense? If it's been something that's plagued you, is there a coaching element? How do you guys go about, trying not to put too much pressure on them, obviously, to do that? But, how do you hope that those problems get resolved?
Well, they are major league players, and there's a way you have to handle every person, and every guy's a little bit different. Some guys you can address it right there in the moment, and other guys you might have to go to them the next day. But it certainly needs to be addressed, has been addressed. You want guys to learn, and there are some young players on our team, first time up in the major leagues, that they're making some mistakes they didn't make in high school or college. But when you're in the major leagues and the stakes are high, you may try to force things too much, and then it's just a reminder, hey, it's the same game. It's all relative, whether you're in A-ball or the big leagues. It's all relative in the sense that the talent level in A-ball was the talent level in A-ball. The major leagues, that's the major league talent. But the game is the same. Keeping the double play in order, taking an extra base when you have the opportunity to, playing smart baseball when the scoreboard tells you, you need to play smart baseball. There's not a need to be aggressive. They're all discussions that happen every single day with our coaches and our players, and we just got to keep pushing it, because it has to get better.
We're talking to JJ Piccolo here on 96.5 The Fan. I want to go back to Sunday and I guess really even yesterday with Bobby Witt Jr. He was back in the lineup. Is it just a back tightness thing that you think he's going to have to deal with the rest of the way? It's just one of those things eventually it's going to require some time off? Or where are you guys at with Bobby Witt Jr., who, of course, last night was back out there making a great play in the field?
Yeah, it was great to see him. I thought he made two really good plays that would have tested his back, and he felt great after the game, so that's a good sign. We've got to keep in mind this guy plays every game, and he plays it with a different set of skills, which, his body is going to be taxed more than most guys night to night. So I think it's normal that guys are going to go through some soreness. We don't think it's serious in nature, I can tell you that, or he wouldn't have played last night. But after he warmed up yesterday and went through pregame, he said he was much better and ready to play tonight, and we're hopeful that that's how he feels today. But we just have to keep an eye on it because clearly we need Bobby on the field, and we would not put him in a position to jeopardize a longer term or an IL stint. We would not do that. We'd rather give him the day here and there to try to get him through the season. And like most guys, rest and recovery after the season is the best time to get things healed up. We just have, I think it's 43 games starting tonight. 43 games he's got to get through, and hopefully another handful in October. But he's a pro. He'll help us with it and communicate with us.
While we're talking about health, Hunter Harvey, unfortunately, back on the IL. It feels like he just can't catch a break, since he was acquired by you guys.
Yeah, I feel terrible for him because he's throwing the ball so well. He did it the first 10 days or so of the season, didn't give up a run. He comes back, and he's throwing the ball exceptionally well. He was throwing the ball well in the minor leagues. We actually cut his rehab short about a week because he was feeling so good. Hard to explain. He pitched a great inning. Then the next day, on Saturday, Sunday he comes in. He says, my groin's a little tight today. He didn't go to bed with soreness, but he woke up with soreness. Maybe that's a little bit of adrenaline, because he's out there and he's competing and he doesn't feel anything. But the next day it was sore, and then yesterday was not only more sore to him, but visibly sore to our training staff. And we knew we had to put him on the IL. But hopefully we got ahead of it in the sense that it's not anything really serious, and hope to get him back here by say early September.
You guys have added obviously a couple more pitchers. What do you guys make of your early returns on Falter and Burgert? You've gotten 2 starts now out of each. How have you felt about it?
Well, Falter, I thought, was better last night. He ran a high pitch count. Obviously, his first game in Boston, wasn't indicative of who he is, and I don't even think last night was. But, he made a couple changes to some pitches yesterday, and he got a really high number, his highest number on the year as far as percentage of swings and misses, because we Brian Sweeney and pitching staff made a couple quick changes with him. He bought right into it, and he had some success, but really – it was more about being in the strike zone and not having that pitch count run up the way it did. That was a situation where you like to try to get a fifth out of him, but where we were in the order, we felt like it was the right time to not go at the top of the lineup third time through. But it was much better. This start was much better, and we know that he'll settle in. And Burgert, what can you say? He's been outstanding. 2 really, really competitive games for us. I thought what was impressive in Minnesota is he gives up a 2-run homer, 9-hole hitter. That's an easy spot to get distracted as a pitcher. It was the 8-hole hitter gets on, then a home run. You could easily lose focus right there, and he didn't. And he stayed in the game. He competed, gave us 5+ innings, and you couldn't ask anything more out of a starting pitcher. And then when you think about this is his rookie year, it's even more impressive.
When you look at the rest of the injury stuff, Jack Caglione, I know the reporting is that he's going to start a rehab assignment maybe as early as tonight, I guess, down there in Omaha. How long are you guys looking in Omaha? What are you guys thinking on the rehab stuff? Is it a week, and if he still feels fine, 2 weeks? Just kind of what's the timeline on it?
Yeah, timeline's hard to tell because we don't know how he's going to react. So it's hard to say he's going to be back by this date or that date. I think the big thing is he is playing tonight. He's starting that rehab tonight. I believe he's not scheduled to play tomorrow, and then he'll, from that point on, I think Thursday on, he'll be in the lineup every day, assuming, everything's feeling good. If he has any soreness, then we have to back off. So that's his timeline's dictated more by how he feels, but I do think it's a great time for him to just kind of reset, take some good at-bats, gain some confidence, and put himself in a position to be called back to the big club, whether it's prior to September 1st or post September 1, we're just going to see how things are going from his health and also from a timing and rhythm standpoint in the batter spots.
Baseball sorts itself out usually, whether it's injuries, whether it's performance, but whenever that rehab assignment is over and he's good to come back to the big league club, do you envision him being an everyday player again for you guys?
Well, certainly. I mean, whether it's 2025, we know.
Oh, this year, sure.
We know
sure.
in the future,
Yeah.
I mean, the makeup of the club's changed. We have a couple different players since he got injured with Grichuk and Yaz, and those guys are veterans, and they're going to be on the field. But there's plenty of ways to get Cags or anybody else. Michael Massey's going to be coming back. There's plenty of ways to get them all in the lineup. With Cags, can play first, he can DH, he can play right. We have flexibility with all of our outfielders can go over to left field. We'd be a little hesitant to put Cags in left just because he hasn't played there at all. But Massey can play left. He can play second. There's going to be ways to get guys in the lineup. But, look, these games mean a lot. Performance is going to be a big dictator of who's in our lineup night to night. This isn't the minor leagues where we're trying to develop guys right now. We're down the home stretch. We've got to win a lot of freaking games, and that's how this thing's got to go. So based on how guys are playing is going to dictate who's in our lineup night to night.
What would you say, like, JJ, this is mostly like a fan sentiment. I don't know that this is, but like the idea that people, like, I think this was a complaint of Q, and so then maybe people take it into the player stuff. This, like, idea that this team isn't full, like, has that killer instinct, the way people talk about 14 and 15. Do you, I mean, I'm guessing you would refute that, but what do you think about what is your sense of the team and that instinct and the idea that, like, the competitive drive is high enough to, like, keep pushing this year?
Well, I think the drive is there. I mean, I'm in the clubhouse just about every day, and I can tell you those guys are giving a lot of effort, and they care about what's going on. It's easy to point to World Series teams and say they had this great drive. Yeah, because October was great. But, there were some lulls in 14 and 15 and that we tend to forget because October was so special. We just got to get to October with this club and take care of our business every day. And that October magic, it happens in October. It doesn't happen in October, in August or September. It happens in October. So the point is we got to get there. We were a wild card team in 14 and just got hot as anything, going through the month of October. But the point is you got to get there. So we're not worried about the intensity of this club. Those guys play with passion. They play with fire. Personalities are different on this team than maybe any other team that we've had. Every team changes, but the competition, the desire to win, I can promise you, is there in that clubhouse right now.
JJ Piccolo, Royals General Manager, Vice President of Baseball Operations, joins us every couple weeks here on 96.5 The Fan. Appreciate it, and we'll check in down the road.
All right, guys. Sounds good. Thank you.
There you go. That's JJ Piccolo here on Cody and Gold. A couple things there. Let's start with just some of the health things as well. So Caglione, basically, if he responds well, then it can be a shorter stint. That's
but he's
why
not
they
going
call
to be
it
guaranteed his spot.
Yep, and I think we kind of had this discussion yesterday on air. Long term, obviously, he's an everyday player. That's how they view him. For now, though, if Yastrzemski's playing well and some other guys are playing well, like you have to win. You have to win down the stretch, which is why if they get to September and they're not in it anymore, well, then at that point maybe it's a different approach. But right now, when you're 4 games back of a wild card spot with 43 games to go, yeah, you're going to play who you think can actually help you win that night.
I will say, though, it'll be the easiest decision on the planet if just one of the guys who are hitting or playing near his spots are not playing well.
Sure, of course.
If Lofton's cold, if Yastrzemski, it doesn't, Grichuk, like if any of those guys aren't hitting well, well, then it's not going to be hard for Jack Caglione to do it. And if all of those guys are hitting together all at the same time, well, this team's probably winning a lot of baseball games. Mm-hmm. And they're only a couple games back of a wild card spot, in which case they might not look to upset the apple cart. But because I look at this as just, this year to me is gravy at this point. I don't anticipate them necessarily being a playoff team. I want Jack Caglione in there because I know that it makes their chances of getting a playoff spot next year even more likely. And I still think for this year, the more likely candidate to drive an offense this year, and this is not a knock on Grichuk, but the more likely candidate is just Jack Caglione comes up and gets hot.
So yes, he's the more likely candidate, but as you know,
lower floor, higher ceiling.
The results have to be there, though, when they're in this. But I agree with you that I would, if you're asking who has the more upside, even this, of course.
Yeah.
But If he's struggling still, then he's not helping you win for this year. And then, hey, we'll work on this in the offseason, and hopefully it's a great spring training, and he's our guy in right field, of course, opening day next year. We already know that. He will be the right fielder on opening day next year. That's not even a question. But, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. The other thing on the pitching front, with Hunter Harvey, he's just a guy that has, from the minute they acquired him for the National, just has not stayed healthy, body failing you left and right. JJ said maybe September, beginning of September for him. I don't know. There's a chance maybe we don't see him pitch, depending on his recovery. You know, he was overused with Washington. Remember at the time we had a guest on from D.C. the day after they acquired him, and he said, "Hey, look, he's been maybe overworked in Washington,
but very good.
But if he's all right, he's very effective." And the Royals took a flyer. And obviously, he's one of those rare pitchers they've acquired, actually, that have not panned out. We know Urseg has been a home run. Obviously, a free agent signing of Carlos Estevez has been a home run. Hunter Harvey's the one guy that just hasn't panned out because of health.
Harvey got to 30 saves? Estevez got to 30 saves.
I need two more.
Oh, is that his career high?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah,
he's the sixth Royals pitcher in their franchise's history to get to 30 saves.
Yeah, I think 2 more is a career high, which is what we were talking about. We were doing our random predictions beginning of the season and everything. I'll be shocked if he doesn't get there. Something terribly went wrong if he doesn't get to 32 or 33.
He's most likely or the team just win 0 games the rest of the way? That doesn't seem likely. The thing about Hunter Harvey,
not every game's a save.
Like sometimes people get hurt and you're just like, they're not performing anyway, so you just kind of let it go. You're like, you know what? They can't perform and they can't get hurt, so it is what it is, right? I don't get like overly worked about it. Hunter Harvey has now pitched for this team in 12 outings this year. He has a 0 earned run average. He hasn't given up a run. He had 10 scoreless outings before he got hurt. He came back, or 9 scoreless outings. He's now come back and he's had like 2 or 3 scoreless outings since he's come back. He hasn't even given up a run this year.
Yeah,
the most frustrating thing is like, it looks like he is a nice addition to the bullpen, a guy who can assist, a guy who can help you win games late, especially because I get it. Like, there are guys in the back end of the bullpen who I think are average major league relievers. Angel Zerpa, John Schreiber. You perceive them as bad because you don't watch everyone's bullpen. They are average major league bullpen guys. But Hunter Harvey, the way he was pitching, he raised that bar a little bit, making it easier to get through those 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th innings where you have a little bit of extra coverage there on that end. And so, like, he actually was helping and then got hurt again.
Oh, it's a loss. He just has never really been, available more than a couple weeks at a time, seemingly, throughout his short tenure with the Royals. And if you were wondering, yes, his contract is up at the end of the year, and we'll worry about that in the offseason. But you got to have a guy that's available for you.
I mean, not replacing him because he hasn't pitched for you.
Yeah,
right.
But
I'm not replacing a bullpen arm. He hasn't pitched.
I'm just saying I don't think I'd be interested in bringing him back. Because this guy's got to be available. Guy has to be available at some point. Do you think he can stay healthy moving forward? You heard JJ though get a little fired up talking about when they play certain guys. Like he said, we got to win a lot of freaking games. There was a tone, there was a change. We have him on every week, so it's every 2 weeks. So we've talked to him enough that you can tell when there's a little more fire behind an answer or whatever.
Yeah.
They recognize they can't say we got to go 10-2 the next 12, otherwise they'll drive themselves crazy and they won't be successful.
Well, they know they got to win.
But they obviously know there are 43 games left and you're 4 out of a playoff spot. They've been around baseball long enough. These guys they're well aware of the work that's ahead of them. They do. We went through it. They have to go now, I guess after last night, what is it, 24-16 or something like that, or 20, what is it? Yesterday we had the stat. I'm sorry, I don't have it in front of me. 28-14 or something like that the rest of the way, I think, to get to 87 wins.
Something
like that. I'm off a game.
They got one game better now because they got the win last night.
Last night, I know it's the Nationals, but it felt massive considering
they give the 2-2 on home runs, and you're like, this is not again.
It's the Nationals, and the same thing applies. These next 5 games or whatever, they need to go either 5-0 or 4-1 or something. That still applies. But boy, oh boy, last night felt like a massive win, considering at one point the Nationals also had a 2-0 lead on you too.
This is the text line talking about Jackson Moore. It says from the 620. Hot? Seriously, Cody forgot how poorly he was hitting. No, he didn't.
Who are they talking about?
Jack Caglione. He played 40 games. He can't get hot. He's incapable of getting hot now. Now he's just MJ Melendez. He's just relegated to never being able to hit again. This is nuts. I don't think we have to limit ourselves just because we watched 40 games of a guy and decide he can't play. I'm talking about ceiling here. And when we're talking about a team that has to do exactly what you just said based on that win last night, still has to play 100-win season pace over the next 6 weeks, I would take my chances with Jack Caglione, the number 5 prospect in baseball or whatever the hell he was when he got called up, and just assume that he's still capable of hitting. And then he didn't just lose the magic the second he got up to the big leagues, and instead got overwhelmed or was in a cold streak or a million other things that could exist that he still could improve on. I have watched, and I know players, and this sounds crazy, have improved before. And it will happen again, Gold. Players aren't always the back of their baseball card after 40 games. So, yeah, I would take a chance. And this goes back to the confidence thing. So what, he's going to be more confident because he got relegated to the minor leagues for the rest of it and then start with the big leagues the year before? Why is that going to make him more confident?
Oh, look,
he's hit pretty well in the minors before he came out. Probably pretty confident when he was in AAA before.
Yeah, you don't have to convince me on the minor leagues. I don't get anybody suggesting that he should just stay in AAA the rest of the way. We know he can hit AAA pitching. That does nothing for him. And yeah, the confidence thing, he was confident when he got called up. And so I'm with you there. I don't. The idea that he, once the rehab portion assignment is done, that he should just stay down there makes zero sense to me.
None to me.
Go ahead, Drew. Sorry.
No, you're good. Isn't this the same thing? Like what you're talking about, Cody, is the same thing that I think about the team, is that Jack can come back and he can just get going. So can the team. And we saw a little bit of it last night. Who's to say they can't do anything? Like for this person, this is probably one of the people who says, the season's over, and if you think that way, don't watch any more of the Rose games.
Yeah, no, look,
if you believe it.
Cody and I, like Cody and I think we agree for the most part. I differ with him only on the, look, if other guys are playing well, Jack Caglione has to perform immediately because in 2025, you now have 40-something. By the time he comes back, they're probably going to have like 30 games left.
Yeah.
And you have to have results immediately. Bigger picture, I'm 100% with you that he gives him the best chance to win. But he's in a position when he gets called back up, he almost has to hit right away, though. I can't wait a week for him to get going, Cody, is all I'm saying.
But if it's just Randall Grichuk hitting 232 with a 305 on base, I don't care.
But if
I'd rather just have Jack Caglione.
That's what I'm saying. If there's other guys that are hitting, I'm with you. If Yastrzemski and Grichuk are on a nice little stretch, then I'm not taking them out of the lineup for him right now in 2025. But yes, if Grichuk is in the middle of a 2 for 10 stretch or 2 for 12, well then yeah, I'm good. I'm with you. I think we agree. It's just the results almost have to be more immediate because of the dire situation you're in with how many
or he might not get in
left.
the next day. He might be more of a platoon player when he first gets called up versus he plays 7 out of 7 days.
We are up in St. Joe. We're going to get back to some football coming up on the other side here. Our Camp Darling Island returns, and our coverage from St. Joe is brought to you by Break Time, Missouri's homegrown convenience stores. Download their mobile app and find a location near you. So Camp Darling Island plus what Bill Simmons had to say about the top-tier quarterbacks in the league.
This is Cody and Gold.
You will not decorate my balls, period. I will decorate my balls.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. 96.5, The Fan.
Hey, it's Gold, and Circa Millions and Circa Survivor are back with a massive $21 million in guaranteed prizes. Circa Million, pick 5 games against the spread each week, 126 ways to win with $6 million guaranteed. Circa Survivor, 1 pick a week, no point spread, last the longest to win it all. $15 million guaranteed. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere, $21 million guaranteed. Visit circasports.com for details.
It's not too late to enjoy your summer with a new or improved deck. Go to PowellExteriorsKC.com to schedule a consultation today. Get your free estimate now, and you could be enjoying your new deck or patio in a matter of weeks. You are 1 click away from your best summer ever.
Taco Tuesdays just got a whole lot steamier at Bauru Asian Eatery. Forget tortillas. We're serving up soft, pillowy bao buns stuffed with bold, flavorful fillings for just $2.50 each. Because who says tacos have to be basic? Come get your bao fix every Tuesday at Bauru in Waldo. Bauru, a part of the Summit Hospitality Group and a proud taco partner of the Cody and Gold Show on 96.5 The Fan.
Men, summertime is here. And that means vacations, summer barbecues, outdoor parties, camping, beaches, and so much more. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're like many men, you may not be feeling like yourself this summer. Perhaps your energy is low and you aren't sleeping well. Maybe your workouts aren't as good as they used to be. And if what I'm describing is you, it's very likely you're suffering with low testosterone. But low T doesn't have to affect you anymore. Just call Heartland Men's Health, get treated, and see how it changes your life. If you're like most men, you'll feel so much better. deeper sleep, improved vitality and clarity, greater strength and energy, and an enhanced sex drive as well. So call us. Just $99 gets you a PSA and T-test and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
This Labor Day weekend, we're celebrating Bob's Discount Furniture's 200th store milestone with the entire Bob's family across the country. For more than 30 years, we've believed everyone deserves the home they love. That's why we brought our everyday low prices on furniture, mattresses, and more to over 200 locations from coast to coast and counting. Not to mention free treats for the whole family in our cafes. Celebrate Bob's Discount Furniture's 200 store milestone this Labor Day weekend.
Oh, my Bob! Ugh, kitchen ants, runaway roaches, a spider. A spider! A spider! Relax, just use Zevo. Zevo insect killer sprays use a powerful blend of mint and rosemary to eliminate those pests and up to 20 other bug types. Plus, Zevo is safe for use around people and pets when used as directed. Just spray the bugs and wipe them away. Zevo, people friendly, bug deadly.
Missouri sports fans, I got great news for you. Underdog is now available to play in your state, and you can go yard all baseball season long with Underdog's Champions Game. As we get ready to roll into the 4th of July holiday, the baseball action is heating up, and Underdog is a leading place to make all of your sports selections. To play, all you have to do is download the app and choose whether a player will go higher or lower on one of their stats. You can choose from things like home runs, total bases, and so much more. And once that entry feels good, you can play with as little as $1, and if you get everything right, you could win up to 1,000 times your money. Maybe it's time for Vinny Pasquantino to start heating up, and you love the over on his total bases this weekend. Download the Underdog app and sign up with promo code BOB to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit with promo code BOB. Must be 18 and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See UnderdogFantasy.com/web/deposit-match-terms. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 in monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If Old Spice Deep Sea Super Hydration Body Wash were music, what would it sound like? Start with the deep sounds of Old Spice's ocean waves and kelp. Layer on the smooth, renewing moisture. You wouldn't hear any parabens or phthalates because Old Spice Deep Sea hasn't got any. But you would hear that vitamin B3 for healthier looking skin. So while your regular body wash sounds like this, Old Spice sounds like this. Sounds like it smells amazing.
You're listening to the all-new 96.5 The Fan, your new home for Chiefs football. KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
$11 o'clock hour live in St. Joe. It's Cody and Gold. Chiefs training camp practice about to wrap up. They are doing a little bit of the special teams portion. That's always the sign that practice is about to end. The last real full practice of camp tomorrow. It's really cool with Military Appreciation Day. They'll start a little bit earlier, and then everybody will sign autographs after practice for Military Appreciation Day. But today's the last practice open to the general public, and then the guys head back to KC. And, yes, they got 2 more preseason games, but just like that, training camp will be wrapping up. Today is our final show up here, and our coverage from St. Joe at camp is brought to you by Break Time, Missouri's homegrown convenience stores. Download their mobile app. Find a location near you. Coming up, let's call it about a half hour from now, I'm guessing we'll have Nate Taylor join us, our Chiefs insider from ESPN, once he's done with some of his media obligations. So we will look forward to talking with Nate Taylor about some of the things he saw out there today, and also kind of final thoughts and put a bow on training camp for the most part. But we know we've got some work to do on Camp Island.
9 players arrive in St. Joe for Camp Island. Only one can take home the final prize. Who will be the 2025 Chiefs Camp Darling?
Decisions.
Double elimination day.
It is.
Down to the final 3?
Mm-hmm. We're getting close to crunch time. Remember, yesterday we added Jason Brownlee. He was a late addition. You can get added to the island, we said, with a performance in a preseason game. I understand it was 1 catch, but it was one of the stories out of preseason game number 1. So here is who is on the island. Reminder, Brashard Smith, Tyquan Thornton, Jalen Royals, Jason Brownlee, and Omar Norman Lott. That means Elijah Mitchell, Jaquarius Spivey, Jared Wiley, Jake Brittingstool, and Noel Williams have all been eliminated from Camp Darling Island. I hope a couple of those names still turn out to have impacts this season, but they aren't Camp Darlings in 2025.
Unless they have like a Omar,
on Monday will be.
Jaquarius Spivey has a 3-sack preseason game. We might have to have a different conversation.
If Omar Norman Lott sacks 3 guys on Friday night, then that's something. Monday we will crown our Camp Darling 2025. But today, 2 guys for the time being have to be voted off the island. So let's go around. Give me your 1 nomination, and we'll see if we're in agreement here.
I think it's fairly obvious at this point that Brashard Smith, my guy,
Okay.
and I'll take credit for my own team here, but Brashard Smith should have survived this round. He should have been an obvious survivor this round. But he had 4 carries for 10 yards and 1 catch for -6 yards. And unless I'm going to crown a Camp Darling based on their pass protection, in which I think he did well, I don't think it's reasonable to do it. Jalen Royals had a bigger game. Tyquan Thornton has had a bigger camp. He also had a slightly bigger game, but he's had a bigger camp. So he's been a bigger name overall. And as much as I might have to just kick Jason Brownlee right back off the island, I do unfortunately think that Brashard Smith's got to go.
So I would have also.
He's got the best chance to come back on the island, though.
He does. So I would have also, as one of my 2, Brashard Smith, because the finger injury probably hurt him a little bit, but also this preseason game was a great opportunity. Now, there's a chance Friday night.
He's got a big chance of coming right back.
He still could do it on Monday and go from being voted off to winning it at the end of the day if he has a huge game Friday night.
I love reality TV, man.
But Brashard Smith, at some point, if you want to stay on the island, you got to do something. You got to become a story at
He's
some point.
clearly the 4th running back on the roster right now, Drew.
Carson Steele's
He
playing better.
can't even move up the depth chart.
All right, so that's 2 votes. Go ahead, Drew. Give me your 1, but that's 2 votes for Brashard Smith. I think he's one of the guys getting kicked off today.
All right, well, so I wouldn't vote Brashard Smith, but it sounds like he is.
Okay.
I'm going to vote my guy, Omar Norman Lott, off because we haven't heard his name pop up really at all. Like Brashard Smith's name has popped more recently than Omar Norman Lott's. Yeah, he was a big story. Yeah, I feel like it's kind of tapered off a little bit. So I would take Omar Norman Lott off, actually.
Interesting. Okay.
I agree with Omar Norman
So I guess
Lott.
the question is, so Brashard Smith, there's 2 votes for Smith. It sounds like Cody's willing to vote for Norman Lott. I would agree with those.
So there's 3 wide receivers? We're not going to get any kind of positional change.
I think that's where we're headed now. And then Monday, we will vote for the winner. There's a chance that Norman Lott, but I think Omar Norman Lott. My only pushback with him is he was a bigger story for 1 week than anybody else other than
should we not be
Thornton.
kicking Jason Brownlee off? The guy we just put on, he had 1 catch.
My vote would be Omar Norman Lott and Brownlee. I would have kept Brashard Smith on, actually.
He has 1 catch, Jason Brownlee.
Smith and Brownlee.
In fairness, it was a
Smith
touchdown.
and Brownlee off
It's that or Norman Lott or Brownlee. I agree with. I think it's those 3. Let's agree to that real quick. Brashard Smith, Omar Norman Lott,
we're
Jason
debating
Brownlee.
those guys. Yeah.
Those are the guys. So Thornton and
Text
Jalen
line,
Royals
what do you
are
think?
safe.
913.
Yeah, we need some opinions here.
586-7965. Monday, the official Camp Darling 2025 will be crowned. So Brashard Smith, to me, absolutely has to be, for the time being, voted off. That, to me, is like a non-starter, in my opinion. He has to be the name off.
All right.
The question is, to me, Norman Lott versus Brownlee.
If it's between those two, I would actually.
The thing is, Brownlee had the moment in the preseason game, yes, but
he
Norman
hasn't
Lott
had the
for 1 week was as big of a story as anybody. Go ahead.
If it's between those two, I think Brownlee's out.
I would kind of agree.
So Drew's.
So I think Brashard Smith and Brownlee are gone, which would leave us with Thornton Royals and Omar Norman Lott.
Are we going to look stupid on Monday if Brownlee has another couple of touchdown catches? He's just going to come right back?
We might.
We can come back on. You can come back
we
on.
could also look really bad if Brashard Smith has 2 touchdowns with 4 catches or something.
It's not about looking bad. It's about crowning the right Camp Darling at the end of the day on Monday.
All right, so for now,
someone
we're
says
down
obsessing over 1 catch is the definition of a Camp Darling.
So maybe Brownlee should stay.
That's a great point.
So maybe
someone says
Brownlee
Norman
should
Lott
stay.
disappointing, I guess, for what I wanted to see.
So maybe we should keep Browning. Maybe we keep Brownlee just because of that. Actually.
All right. Final answers here. I will switch again. My goodness.
Get rid of Omar Norman Lott.
Brashard Smith and Omar Norman Lott are off the island, in my opinion.
But then, see, that's the problem. Like, between Brownlee and Smith, I start leaning Smith. But he can just retake that job if he performs in the preseason.
Monday will be obvious. I think Monday will be obvious who the Camp Darling.
Thornton is still the favorite. He's still the Vegas odds-on favorite if anybody could bet on Camp Darling.
Jalen Royals has the opportunity for a big preseason game, too, though. All of a sudden, he can come out of nowhere and win this thing. Noel Williams has a pick 6, and we're like, uh-oh. There's a lot of things. Friday night's big.
I feel like it'd be more than a pick 6 for Noel Williams, Jake Brenningstool, he never.
Someone says Brownlee has shown more this week.
Healthy.
That is correct. Brownlee is really more about he's on a 5-day heater.
But this isn't just a 5-day heater, man. This is all a camp.
Yep.
This is the whole thing. That's why he's still a long shot to win it, and Brashard Smith still got a good chance to get back on. But you know what? It's an earned role as well.
But in fairness,
it's an earned role as well. Brashard Smith didn't earn it this week.
Brashard Smith, honestly, to this point, hasn't done anything.
Except for getting talked about in camp. Yes.
But even that was more because of just people were hoping to talk about him.
Yeah, we didn't see it on Saturday. Yeah.
All right, Friday night against Seattle. Friday night against Seattle.
Hold on, just to be sure, one more time. We did not check their social media after practice. Did they practice yesterday?
They did.
They did. Okay.
Ooh,
so let's
yeah, we
just
haven't.
Hold on. Just not the game.
You're saying that something could change.
I'm pretty sure we already packed their bags. They're off the island, man.
I just want to make sure.
It's reality.
If somebody was supposed to be, there is a running back room is bursting with energy.
The limo's already
from
driving
15
away.
hours ago
The limo's already driving
Smith.
away.
Oh, Jalen Royals had a catch in the rain.
He's still on the
yesterday.
island.
Yeah,
So
and
he's safe.
He's still there.
James Winchester was on there.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he was. Okay, I think we're safe. We're good. We're good with the ones we took.
Someone says it's Camp Darling, not Camp Preseason. Yeah, but preseason still. Two games are taking place while they're at camp still. Technically, Friday's game. Technically, Friday's preseason game is after camp. In fairness, as if we get into the real semantics here, text line. You're right.
Yeah, let's really break down the semantics of our reality-based radio show called Camp Darling Island.
Monday,
I could change the rules forever. It could be. I could just decide Robert Tunyon isn't too old.
That's right.
On Monday,
we're having fun
Claim
with
him
it.
if I
so
want.
Monday we will crown a Camp Darling, and we'll take your guys' votes on it as well. Thank you. At Alex Gold, at Cody B. Tap on Twitter, at Drew B. Nix.
If you see somebody in the game that you think we're ignoring, please let us know.
Drew, real quick, while we're on the topic of social media, I did notice something yesterday. No thirst trap photos, so that's good. That's a smart decision. I wouldn't be doing too many of those if I were you. But what was that? Were you grilling? Were you cooking? Did Cody saying yesterday on the show that I should spend $1,500 on cooking lessons?
Stand by that one.
Prompt you to go and start cooking yourself? Because I don't know if I've ever seen you post a fresh plate of food that you clearly cooked. Or did your wife cook it? What? Who was that? Grilled chicken? What was that?
So I typically despise the food posting like the Thanksgiving plate thing. Normally we always make Thanksgiving. I never post it. But I thought it was, I got groceries last week. This is before Cody said anything, but I've been wanting to make, I baked some chicken tenderloins.
Baked chicken.
And had mashed potatoes and broccoli, and it was bomb. It was really good.
It looked good. The only thing I'll say about the broccoli.
Is that instant mash or real mash?
Those are Bob Evans in the microwave mashed potatoes.
Terrible.
Now they're not. Those aren't.
They're very
Gross
good.
already.
They're very
Awful.
good, actually.
All right,
Drew,
two things. Hold on, Cody. Two things. Obviously, home-style mashed potatoes way better. I will say those are not instant. At least he did not make instant mashed potatoes.
Correct.
You know what the Bob Evans ones are?
Yeah.
They're already made, but you warm them up. They are not instant. They are much better than that. I will give him that.
They taste very good.
I know what he's talking about. Now, I was going to be critical. Cody with mashed potatoes. I was going to be critical about the broccoli. The broccoli looked like it was just straight out of a can.
It was not out of a can. It was the microwavable. It was like frozen broccoli you microwave, and then I tossed some
The
butter in there.
steamers, like the steamer stuff.
Yeah,
I've had those
steamer
before. I
broccoli.
will say it looked too soggy. It looked like it was over
the reason
steamed.
the reason it might have looked that way, I think, is because we probably put too much butter in there, so it looked like it was shiny. It was all more shiny.
It just looks
the
soggy.
chicken looks good.
Yeah, the chicken looks good. The broccoli, like I've done the steamed broccoli pouches thing before. Those are usually. I just feel like it looked a little too like soggy. That's all.
The text line's giving you good advice too. Forget the chicken tenderloins. Get chicken thighs.
Chicken thighs next time.
Good price, better flavor.
I like doing the chicken breast if I'm gonna grill.
Better flavor in the
he
thighs
didn't grill,
and a better
fairness.
price.
He baked. So baked thigh. The thighs you bake, breast grilled. I don't grill thighs.
So you're a
Drew,
thigh guy, Cody.
I'm proud of you.
Cody's a thigh guy.
I'm proud of you for
I'm more of the breast
baking
guy.
the chicken.
Okay.
I think the chicken looks tasty.
I appreciate that.
I'm telling you, all you have to do is make 2 additional steps. Very little additional time, and this meal could take a next step. You just buy a crown of broccoli, you chop it. It takes 10 seconds. You roast it in the oven. It takes 25 minutes. When you're already cooking the chicken, and then you make real mashed potatoes instead of the bag stuff. Maybe I'll let the mashed potatoes go.
I'll side with him on the mashed potatoes. If it's just him and the wife, if you're not
I haven't
gonna
had them, so I feel like I can't be a good judge.
They're not
instant.
instant. They're
Mashed
not
potatoes
instant.
are
Though.
trash.
What he had is not instant though.
They're
not instant. But I will say, if you had more time, like baked potatoes, an easy one. Twice baked potatoes.
Baked potatoes
Twice
take
baked
forever.
Twice baked potatoes. Twice bake's a pain in the ass. All right.
Everybody's
Twice bake's a pain.
Everybody's
but they're
backing
amazing.
you, Cody, on the thighs.
Yeah, thighs are the way to go.
Thighs
Someone
are
says,
elite.
Drew, did you go air fryer for this, or did you bake it? You said bake.
No,
not
I know.
fry.
I baked the chicken in the oven.
All right.
Someone says Gold gets $9,000. Now he's the broccoli police.
Cody was criticizing the mashed potatoes.
I'm known for that. I'm known to criticize the food.
No, because what the meal he just made, that's one of the meals that I actually will make pretty quick. And I've done the steamed broccoli bag. I've done the Bob Evans mashed potatoes. Not instant. Again, they are refrigerated. They're already made. You stir it up. But they're not instant's gross. They taste the ones he had do not taste like instant. I'll give him that.
I will reserve.
Go buy some, Cody.
But I don't want to eat them. Mashed potatoes are an easy thing to make.
Cody, hold on. If I would,
how was the silverware? People are wondering.
Yeah, somebody
he
asked
has
about
terrible silverware.
Cody, did you buy him some silverware?
No. Cody's not bought me any silverware. If I made the mashed potatoes and I didn't tell you where they were from, would you be, Cody? Do you think you'd be able to by the taste that they were not?
You'd tell by the
made
look.
Yes.
You can tell by the look.
I can tell by the look, Drew.
The look.
Okay.
I mean, think about this. If you blindfolded me, that might be like maybe I'm off.
Sure.
Maybe I'm being too judgmental. I can tell you right now. I said something about the mashed potatoes because I could tell by the look something's not right. Something's not right. That doesn't look right. I've made enough mashed potatoes in my life, you know. But I
in general though, chicken with some broccoli, mashed potatoes, solid, man. Solid.
Yeah,
just salt, pepper, olive oil, man, and you can roast some broccoli. You can step your game up there too.
Same thing with the asparagus.
All right. Asparagus is really good.
I love asparagus.
And you're already baking the chicken, so the oven's already on. You already need the time.
I don't know if
that's what makes it.
I was gonna say I don't know if it's an ease thing. I feel like it's an ease thing where because we've we've cooked asparagus before and actually bought the asparagus, put it in the oven, do the whole nine. With the broccoli,
it's a weeknight. He didn't want to take his time.
I think
it takes
it's just
5 minutes.
I think it's
he
just
just wanted
a little
to eat,
bit,
man. He was hungry.
It's the steamed broccoli thing.
wanted to
It's just
eat.
easier.
He still had
I
to
think.
cook the chicken.
But he wanted to eat.
I know.
There wasn't additional time. That's my point.
He didn't want 3 steps. He didn't want to have to maneuver the microwave and the oven and this at the same time.
The oven,
That's what
they
he's
go
saying.
in there at the same time.
But he had the broccoli bag. He did not have the floret or the crown.
I'm saying if he, I'm assuming he went to the store.
No, the
for the microwave broccoli.
The funny part about this is Bree doesn't eat the chicken that she thinks the chicken is too dry, which I disagree with. I think the chicken's
Overbaked?
I think it's more juicy than she thinks. She likes the breaded chicken. So what I did for her was we have cornflakes, and what I'll do is I'll flatten out the tenders, and then I'll mix up some egg and a little bit of vinegar, a little bit of vinegar. Dip it in the egg.
We're all familiar with the dredge.
Cake it with the cornflakes.
Hey, easy. Let him cook here. Literally, let him cook. Keep going.
Cake it with the cornflakes, and then pop it in the air fryer for about 8 minutes or so, and then you've got breaded tenders essentially.
Nice.
Okay, so you're saying you made those breaded tenders in the air fryer, not the oven.
The bread, no, okay. The picture is baked chicken tenderloins for myself.
Okay.
The wife gets breaded.
You made her the cornflake.
Yes, because she likes the breaded tenders more than the grilled or the baked because she thinks it's too dry.
Okay.
I still disagree with that. Anyways.
Please save in the system your own drop that said about the juiciness of the meat. Please go ahead and save that as a drop.
I will get to that, yes.
I believe Drew said, quote, "It's more juicy than she thinks," is what I believe.
It is.
All right, let's talk a little football. Yesterday, Bill Simmons was talking about the quarterbacks in the NFL, and he became the most recent person to rank Patrick Mahomes below a current quarterback. Let's hear what he had to say about Josh Allen, and then I kind of want to make a bigger point about what I don't understand is happening here.
I did not have Patrick Mahomes at the top of the pyramid. When it came right down to it, I just think Josh Allen's the best quarterback in the league. Game by game, regular season, durability, he can make chicken salad out of chicken. From what we saw from Mahomes last year, which I want to go into in a second, I just don't think it's fair to put him over Josh Allen, especially because Mahomes didn't win the Super Bowl last year. So when you saw that, what was your reaction?
My first reaction was I thought this goes against everything I thought I knew about you in terms of, honestly, from having, read you, listened to you, working with you, talked to you. I thought you had sort of a life principle that when one guy has the belt, somebody's got to come take the belt. If it is that close, and Patrick Mahomes has been to 5 Super Bowls, won 3, has played Josh Allen 4 times in the playoffs and beat him every time. I hear what you're saying. Those aren't Josh Allen's fault. I totally agree with that. But still, somebody wins, somebody loses. That's sports. I feel like Allen needs to either beat Mahomes and get to a Super Bowl or just win a Super Bowl to actually get the belt.
I guess my question is it possible that he might have peaked a couple years ago as like Apex Mahomes? I'm talking through it. I'm not trying to be reactionary guy. I just don't think he was as good last year as he was in that 22 season and some of those other years. I didn't see it. I thought they kind of lucked out. They were 11-1 in 1-score games, and some of them were really stupid wins. And I'm going to say this to Patrick Mahomes. Prove to me I'm a shithead. Go take your belt back. You dropped the belt. You dropped the belt in that Super Bowl game, and just in general, I didn't love the season start to finish. And I think Josh is a safer bet. So prove to me I'm wrong.
All right, so
interesting. Okay.
First, citing regular season wins and then telling me that playoff wins aren't a quarterback stat is insane.
Yes,
is insane. They can't count one place but not count the other. Gold. That's just straight up not how this works. Bill Simmons is also an ardent Tom Brady defender, and I think that matters for a guy who was. Yeah, but it's also just like the idea that winning is what drove him to this, but now winning isn't the only thing that matters. But during times of Tom Brady's career, he wasn't always the best statistical quarterback in any given season, right? Sometimes Drew Brees had more passing yards, or Aaron Rodgers had more passing touchdowns, or other guys did other things. But when push came to shove, to do this, what I can't figure out is, what is this national desire to, ultimately defend Josh Allen like he's under duress? He has accomplished essentially nothing other than one MVP, and some people do question the validity of that one MVP, and people are jumping up in arms to defend him as the best quarterback in the NFL, but for why? Is there some reason why we need to defend his honor versus the other guys? Accomplish more. That's how you'll get more credit if you're Josh Allen. Win more, accomplish more, go to a Super Bowl, whatever.
Look, I love when we continue to hear clips like this, because I am still convinced that the first 2 games of the season, Patrick Mahomes, prime time in Brazil, Patrick Mahomes against the defending champs Sunday afternoon at Arrowhead against Philly, if he goes out and has the best protection on the left side, at least the left tackle spot he's had since Eric Fisher, if he has Hollywood Brown available with Worthy, that's still better than what he had most of the last season. Travis Kelce, all these things, I can't wait for them. I don't want to get into the whole scorched earth thing again, but a lot of these comments, he's well aware of. His trainer, Bobby Stroop, is up here at camp. We know his trainer informs him all the time of what people are saying about him, and thinking the dynasty's over, thinking that he's been surpassed by Burrow and Allen and Lamar and all these different guys. He hasn't even turned 30 yet. He actually doesn't turn 30 for another month. And people are acting like, oh, well, he's old and it's just over. Andy Reid is still the head coach. Chris Jones, to me, still has another year or 2 of good football in him. Patrick Mahomes, I think, will have a better offense this year. What happened last year and why the numbers are down, Yeah, he wasn't his best. He was checked down Mahomes. But there's a lot of reasons why that existed. And so unless you think the offense is just going to be the exact same as last year, by the way, they still found a way to win 15 games.
And go to the Super Bowl.
I just, look, you guys know we don't need to get the whole QB ranking flat out again. I have Josh Allen number 2 on my list. I have Joe Burrow 3, Lamar 4. People disagree with Burrow and Lamar on my list. They think they should be flipped. Drew obviously thinks Burrow should be 2.
I thought the Athletic got it right.
At some point, no, they didn't. They have Mahomes and Burrow as 1A, 1B. I'm sorry, that's
exactly
wrong. That's why you think it's right, but it's wrong. But I knew you would love that.
I think there's no argument 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, look.
I think there is argument. Sorry.
Gotcha. Yeah. Look, Patrick Mahomes, they're talking about the belt. The belt hadn't fallen off. It's on him. Someone else has not taken it yet. I'm sorry. Jalen Hurts is not in the AFC. Josh Allen has to beat Patrick Mahomes in a big game in the playoffs, or Lamar does, as in preventing them from going to the Super Bowl while also having a good year.
There's so many stats to support that Patrick Mahomes plays his best in the postseason. The stat yesterday was the one, I think, that was career games of active quarterbacks of 3 or more touchdown passes against playoff teams. And Patrick Mahomes has twice as many as any other quarterback in the NFL. Now, partially because he gets to throw 3 touchdowns against other playoff teams in the playoffs. Sorry for being there. But Bill Simmons in that argument says, well, Patrick Mahomes lost the Super Bowl, but won't discredit Josh Allen for not winning.
Getting punished for losing the Super Bowl more than losing in the playoff game.
Everyone seems to not want to discredit Josh Allen for his playoff losses. Like, they just don't count. That man has only made it to a singular AFC title game, and he lost that game. And every other time he's lost to Mahomes, and he's lost to Burrow, and he's lost to other guys. And I'm not saying one game is all. But that guy's had plenty of chances. He goes to the postseason every year, wins his division every year. He's been the number 1 seed. He's been at home in the playoffs. He's had plenty of opportunities to get a win and to come through and do those things. Now, look, I don't need, like I saw Carrington make the argument for, Joe Burrow won a Heisman. That doesn't mean
what
nothing.
Josh Allen is the king of almost, is what he said. I love it. I love it. He's right.
Yeah, but also, like, the Burrow stuff.
Then what's Joe Burrow the king of?
In the NFL, he's the king of almost too, Drew. I don't care if he won a Heisman or won a national championship. That's college.
No. He is not celebrated the way that Josh Allen is celebrated. That's the whole point that Carrington is making is people are putting Josh Allen on a pedestal like he's done something where he's actually done less than the guy who's ranked ahead.
He's done the same. He's done the same as Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow went to a Super Bowl, and Josh Allen's won an MVP.
Josh Allen also has never beaten Joe Burrow before, and Josh Allen won an MVP. That was a sorry, we're tired of giving it to this guy.
I don't disagree that Lamar should. I don't disagree that Lamar should have been the MVP. But also there has to be, if we're going to say Burrow got to the Super Bowl, Allen didn't. Then what's the quote unquote penalty for not making the postseason for 3 years in a row?
Again, I don't think it's, if we're comparing the two, Josh Allen's also never beaten Joe Burrow, including a game in his house in the playoffs.
We're not talking head-to-head. We just got into this. We're talking head-to-head. What is it, one playoff game? Drew, I can't make a decision on people's accomplishments on 1 or 2 playoff games.
Like, if we're talking accomplishments, then I think you winning an MVP, I think you would take a Super Bowl appearance over an MVP because you get a shot to win the whole thing as opposed to just having a good statistical season, which he didn't have.
But it's not one accomplishment. It's also he's won his division every year. He's gone to the playoffs 7 years in a row.
We can't. But there's layers to it. You can't just say, well, he won his division because the AFC East is the easiest division potentially this upcoming season in the entire AFC.
Players. I'm not saying Joe Burrow's less accomplished. I'm saying they're equally
If you're asking why is one more celebrated, it also goes back to something you obviously disagree with, but that is Josh Allen. Hard not to like the guy.
That doesn't mean he's
Joe
better.
Burrow
I
is
think
arrogant.
That's crazy
Joe Burrow,
to include in a conversation of whether he's better or not.
That's not the question though.
No,
you brought
he was
up.
Just talking about why they defended.
You said why is Joe Burrow not celebrated as much as Josh Allen? And I'm telling you the answer.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean I understand that. But if we're talking about,
you said celebrated, not why is he ranked, sir. You said celebrated, which would infer everything, personality and performance.
I think that's why Carrington said what he said yesterday, though, is Josh Allen is celebrated so much because whatever, he's more likable, whatever the case is, but he shouldn't be because he hasn't done anything. Even though he's a nice guy.
I think if you say he hasn't done anything, you're telling me
he's a nice guy. Miss me with all of that.
Drew, if you are saying Josh Allen has done nothing in the NFL, then I think you have to say that Joe Burrow has done nothing in the NFL.
And so is Lamar Jackson, and so is Brock Purdy.
I think they've done the same amount. I don't think they've done nothing. I just don't think that they've accomplished the big stuff.
I understand, but if you're saying that Joe Burrow's done nothing and Josh Allen's done nothing, then nobody else has done anything other than Jalen Hurts currently.
Josh Allen's done nothing. I'm saying they've all done something. It's just not as good as Patrick Mahomes, like Bill Simmons is saying.
He's saying that Josh Allen should be right there with Mahomes, and I'm also disagreeing with that notion. But it's sure as hell not Joe Burrow. That's all.
I just think Josh Allen gets gassed up to a level that doesn't make any sense because he won an MVP that was a forgiving MVP. And a sorry, but we don't want to give it to this guy MVP. He shouldn't even have an MVP.
Up next, we will get to the Chiefs Red Half Hour. I believe Nate Taylor is going to stop by as well, right here on 96.5 The Fan.
Watch Cody and Gold on YouTube by subscribing to the 96.5 YouTube channel. Cody and Gold is brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
If there's a place you don't want to have a problem on your house, it's your roof. Century Roofing has been helping people in Kansas City for 35 years have the peace of mind to know that they're okay. Whether it be a roof replacement or roof repairs, you can get a free estimate over at centuryroofingkc.com. I've had 2 roof repairs done to make sure I can extend the life of my roof. I'll be honest, I kind of thought maybe I was going to need a new roof. And they said, no. There's a couple of repairs. Roof is still in really good shape. We'll cross that bridge when we go to it. I know that they'll be able to handle it because they have done over 30,000 roofs in the Kansas City area for over 35 years. And not just me telling you this, voted Best of Johnson County 4 years in a row and recently named Best Roofing Company in Kansas City thanks to readers over at the Kansas City Star. So if you have roofing needs and you want to make sure it's a roofing company that'll stand behind the life of their warranty the entire time, go to centuryroofingkc.com to help you file that claim. Trust the pillars of strength with Casey Basin, female-owned Century Roofing. That's centuryroofingkc.com.
Ain't nothing gonna break my stride. Nobody gonna slow me down.
Don't let pneumococcal pneumonia break your stride. If you're 50 or older, you're at increased risk. So be proactive with Capvaxive pneumococcal 21-valent conjugate vaccine to help protect against invasive pneumococcal disease and pneumonia caused by certain types of pneumococcal bacteria. Capvaxive helps protect against the strains of bacteria that cause about 30% more IPD cases than any other pneumococcal conjugate vaccine in adults over 50, according to national-level CDC stats. Regional variations may exist. Don't get Capvaxive if you're allergic to the vaccine or its ingredients. Tell your doctor if you have a weakened immune system. Common side effects include injection site reactions, feeling tired, headache, muscle aches, and fever. Capvaxive does not protect against all strains. For more information, call 1-800-927-8888 or visit capvaxive.com. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Capvaxive. Need help paying for your Merck vaccine? Visit merckhelps.com. Sponsored by Merck.
On Tuesday, August 26th, it is FanDuel Futures Day, a new holiday for football fans. It's 24 hours of deals on all your football season predictions. So you can take a flyer on that MVP race. We were just talking about Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow. For the record, Lamar plus 430 to win MVP. Josh Allen 6-1. Same odds as Joe Burrow, 6-1. Patrick Mahomes plus 650. Or maybe you want to crown your champion in August. There seems to be a lot of media members out there that think they have it all figured out as well, that the Chiefs just can't get back there. Well, you could try to prove them wrong and also put your money behind it. The Chiefs are 8-1 to win the Super Bowl. The Ravens 7-1. The Bills sitting at 7-1 as well. Mark your calendars. This is your day for your hunches, your hot takes, your calls, and your odds. Visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your futures bets now, because Futures Day is one day and one day only. FanDuel, play your game. 21 and present in Kansas. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
Need to sell your house in Kansas City but not sure what the best option is? Selling a home, especially when dealing with foreclosure, divorce, job relocation, or an inherited property, can feel overwhelming. That's why I don't just make offers. I help homeowners understand all their options so they can make the right choice with no pressure and no obligation. I'm Rex, a local homebuyer and resident right here in Kansas City. Whether you're looking for a fast cash sale or just want to explore your choices, I'll walk you through the pros and cons of selling to me or listing with an agent. If selling directly is your best move, I'll offer you a fair cash price and a closing timeline that fits your needs in as little as 7 days or on your schedule. No repairs, no commissions, no hidden fees. Just a transparent, hassle-free process so you know exactly what to expect. Let's talk. Call 816-330-6000 or visit rexspicekc.com for a free, no-pressure consultation. Rex Spies KC, helping homeowners make informed decisions with confidence.
Some people just know they can save hundreds on home and auto insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check your house sitter has the new code first before leaving for vacation.
System lockout.
But that's the code!
Contacting authority.
I'm out of here.
Oh, seriously, the car too?
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a home and auto bundle that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Potential savings vary. Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Presenting a Gain Flings love story. Dear love of my life, we were on the 12B bus this morning when I caught a whiff. A scent so fresh, so life-changing, I had to find its source. Alas, I didn't know if you were the woman in the pink freshly washed cardigan or the retired mailman next to me, but I knew one of you was my soulmate. Ah, the scent of Gain Flings. Try Gain Flings with OxyBoost and Febreze.
Your cold is coming. Your cold is coming. When you feel a cold coming, shorten it with Zicam, the #1 cold shortening brand.
Oh, no, not before my big trip.
The big trip you've been planning is coming up, and so is your cold. But Zicam can shorten your cold and get you back to planning sooner.
Thanks, Revere.
We really should keep Zicam in the house.
Shorten your cold with Zicam.
Take it from America's most revered messenger. Shorten your cold at the first sign with cold shortening products from Zicam, the #1 cold shortening brand. Available in stores or see where to buy at Zicam.com.
DQ presents the sound of happy. Hear that? That's the DQ chicken strip basket. Only $7.49 for a limited time. We're talking 4 100% white meat seasoned chicken strips served with fries, Texas toast, and DQ signature country gravy. Yeah, you heard that right. For crunch time and no time, it can only be the DQ chicken strip basket. Just $7.49 for a limited time. Get it delivered in the DQ app. Happy tastes good at participating locations.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Brought to you by Duke's Mayonnaise.
This is the Duke's country song. It's a song about the best mayo. It has a yellow lid, and its full name is Duke's Mayonnaise. Get Duke's Mayo in store. It's got twang.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Welcome in to the Chiefs Red Half Hour. Every day at 11:30 with Cody and Gold on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Chiefs Red Half Hour brought to you by All Weather Decks, Kansas City's most respected deck builder. Check them out at allweatherdecks.net. Can I ask a question real quick? They're still doing the top 100?
Yes.
This isn't over yet?
They're going to do it all the way up until week 1. I know. They're only at, what are they at, 30-something? Travis Kelce was on it today, wasn't he? In the 30s, I believe. It's a hell of a day for Kelce. We got the Taylor Swift news with the new album and the New Heights appearance tomorrow. We've got the GQ cover, and I believe he was named something on the NFL 100 today.
37 is what the Chiefs sent out. And I was just trying to decide, wait, for real? That's still a thing?
Yeah, it's been dragging on too long.
Why are they taking it so long?
They
thought the top 100 was going to be 7 months long?
They want to milk it out, I guess.
I stopped paying attention after they had Trent McDuffie like 94 or whatever the hell they had him.
Yeah, Bo Nix was 60-something. Quarterback, I guess. But
just checked out. Mahomes will be like 9th.
I don't know. I have a feeling we're about to have,
Josh, Burrow, and then he'll be behind like a couple of big defensive players.
Yeah.
He'll be behind like
he'll be
behind T.J. Watt.
Going back to the convo we just had, don't worry. Burrow will be ahead of him. So, yeah, you're right. Burrow and Allen will absolutely be ahead of him on this list, and it'll be hilarious. But, yes, that's true. That's going to happen.
It's a real bummer. It's a real bummer. All right, we'll get Nate Taylor down here in just a few minutes. But I want to talk about the offensive line because it was one of the only other takeaways I had from the first preseason game. And I'm not saying that the Chiefs are alone in this, but I don't like it because they've run into this problem each of the last 2 years, and it's been obvious before, and maybe every team suffers through this same fate. We don't watch the other teams the same way. I pray this year that the Chiefs do not get to the backup offensive line because, Gold, it's bleak. It did not look good. Wanye looked worse than he did last year. The offensive guard play seems suspect at best. The guys behind the starting five gave me zero confidence, other than the fact I know Jalen Moore will be there and him and Jawan Taylor switch spots. Outside of that, you have to admit, man, once Gardner Minshew got behind the backup offensive line, that man feared for his life the rest of the day. And so did every other quarterback who came in after that. You just think that this is a league-wide problem?
Yeah, I'm not. Look,
I think they need to stay healthy on the offensive line. I think it's an important thing for their success.
Of course, but I also think, yes, that can be said for 31 other teams in the NFL. Like, I don't think it's unique to Kansas City. Yes, if the Chiefs lose their left tackle or their right tackle, they're in a bit of trouble. I would actually say, though, because of Jalen Moore's existence, that they might even be better prepared than some others. I'm not saying they're the best depth offensive line in football. That's not what I'm alleging. But I would argue having guys like Wanye and Jalen Moore that have started games in this league as backups is better than a lot of teams. I'm not saying you had to say it looked great, but that alone in terms of reps, they've got more starting reps than a lot of other teams backup swing tackle or guy that can play guard in Jalen Moore's case as well. So, yeah, I'm not saying it looked good, but I just don't think it's unique to Kansas City. Go look at Buffalo. If they lost their left tackle, I don't think they're feeling great. I think that's just an NFL issue. Most teams don't have a bunch of great offensive linemen behind their existing starters. And I would say, again, the Chiefs, Jalen Moore and Wanye as their backups is better than a lot of teams' situation.
Is it? I mean, look, I can't pretend to know the ins and outs of every tackle situation. But, for instance, like the Rams lost their left tackle, and they had a guy who's – because, really, Jalen Moore's got, 10 games of starting experience, and so does Wanye.
Yep, that's better than a lot of teams.
I'm not saying it's definitely better than zero, and it's probably better than some teams, but I don't know that it's probably on average if I had to guess without looking from where those are. It was just a stark reminder of – and, look, I think offensive line play is bad in the league. So, again, I'm not saying they're there, but it was a stark reminder that is an important facet of their success.
Sure, I mean, look at as someone points out, look at the Chargers, obviously. One of the best left tackles in the game, Rashawn Slater's out for the season. That's a huge blow for them. They have a guy filling in that does have some starting experience, but of course, no team can be prepared for that. You can hope that you're in a nice spot, but it is a huge drop-off for every team when one of your starters on the O-line misses a significant chunk of the season. If in fact that actually happens.
I mean, look, I'm not fearing it yet. They're healthy so far, and the guys are there. But it's like when you start, the places on the field that you can take on a little bit of water. Wide receiver last year, it means the offense will be worse, but they took on water at wide receiver last year, Gold, and they could still be, number 5 in yardage, number 12 in scoring, and go on with their merry way. And I understand last year they didn't have as many injuries on the line as much as they just had guys who could not play. They had some injury, but, it wasn't like they took on water at the injury. They just didn't have guys who could play. They had bad offensive line play. And then, obviously, the one injury on the line that set them back at least a little bit. But, that's it. Trey was healthy. Creed was healthy. Jawan Taylor missed a little bit of time, but he was healthy for a decent chunk of the year. Tooney was healthy. And Kingsley just stunk. This year, it feels like, and again, I don't want to get in a situation. I don't think they'd ever put Kingsley back at left tackle.
No, you can't. That ship has sailed. That ship has sailed.
How terrified would you be if it came to that?
Oh, they would have devastating injuries for that.
Yeah, Wanye got hurt, and
it would have to be in game too. They would have to because you can only suit up so many. It would almost have to be a situation when we're in game. You're well, he at least has played the position. That's the scenario. So let's not think about that.
It'd be Issa Pohl, I guess.
He'll be a practice squad guy. Ethan Driscoll will be back from appendicitis or whatever he had.
I did see Pohl.
You have your appendix?
He's Nate's guy, by the way. Pohl.
Yeah,
Who?
Or Pole.
Yeah. I do have my appendix. Do we all have our appendix on the show?
Yes.
I do.
I've got my spleen, my appendix, any of the ones that they can take away, I still got.
You still have your gallbladder?
What the hell are they taking my gallbladder?
Some people have it removed.
I don't know. Some people have it removed, yeah.
But not my gallbladder?
Yeah, so far, so good. But appendicitis, you just wake up in the middle of the night one day, and all of a sudden it's a horrific pain, I'm told, and you're like, well, Time to go.
Guess I'm dying. Time to get to the hospital.
Time to go. We got to remove this immediately so it doesn't burst. That's when it gets really bad.
Yeah.
That's why they remove it quickly. Who was it? Was Alex Smith had something? Spleen. Was his spleen?
His was appendix.
Who was spleen? Somebody had a spleen.
There was a quarterback who
Ben
got speared.
Roethlisberger?
There was a quarterback who got speared in the back. Joey Harrington or something, who had to have their spleen removed. Like Chris Sims, who had to have it removed the next week or the next couple of days. I don't remember. I thought it was an appendix for him.
Yeah, Roethlisberger maybe was appendix as well. I don't know. There's somebody had a spleen issue, and I don't know why I thought that was Alex Smith, but
I thought that was we can look it up. Chris Sims, I was right on him. Ruptured spleen sustained during multiple hard hits. They had to take his out. So if you're thinking Chris Sims,
Alex Smith suffered a lacerated spleen.
Oh, his was spleen too. I apologize. Okay, multiple spleen injuries. Imagine getting hurt so bad that you can get your spleen lacerated. This is why you and I didn't play football growing up. I try to convince my dad.
That's why. Yep, you know what? Everything it could be. You nailed it, Cody. That's what it is. Otherwise, would have played. I just never wanted to worry about my lacerated spleen. Otherwise, I would have been right there, man.
Gold's like they're making one-handed catches in Pop Warner, Cody.
Drew, you still needed to come up to camp. It's too late this year, but maybe next year. We need to get you on the jug machine. You said, what was it? You said you could catch all 10 or something? And no way. All 10, right?
Did I say all 10?
I think it was. Maybe it was 9 out of 10, but it was high. Okay. It was a high number. I will say, I wanted to play high school football, but because I liked playing sports. We played football all the time growing up, and baseball and all these other stuff.
Too small or what?
No, my dad. We had no rules in my house, and because I had been pretty injury prone up to that point, I had already had a torn ligament in my knee, and I'd broken arms and stuff like that. He's like, no, you'll die. I don't know, for whatever reason it was, that was one. Although I did play high school rugby. So eventually I think what happened was I played that
club rugby team?
I played that one without asking permission versus the football one that stuck in there.
Drew, I could have seen you as a high school kicker, man.
That probably would have been the extent of my based on my physique, that's a good guess. Can I kick a football? Absolutely not.
I played fly and scrum half for rugby, which is the first guy who gets hit in the line.
Where was this for the LRZ last summer at camp? Where was this insight? Where was this insight last year when we needed rugby? I don't need rugby insight now. Yep. I needed it last year when LRZ was here.
You know those plays you see in rugby where they lift the guy up by the chest and catch the ball? I was the guy they'd lift up.
Nice.
You got lifted up?
Nice.
I was the guy who got lifted up. Throw the ball back.
All right. Okay. I did not. We learn something new every day. I did not know. Did you not bring this up last summer?
I don't know. Maybe I
did not know.
We talked way too much about LRZ last summer.
We were talking about his football prowess, not his rugby prowess.
But that's clearly all he had. Yeah.
I did play an entire year of club rugby. I was okay. I wasn't the worst player. I was okay. I was relatively decently fast still then, so that helped. But man, people that's a sport where you tape down your ears and then you just get your bell rung. So I probably had 87 concussions.
I'm now getting more messages about other athletes that had spleens removed.
Oh, okay.
Peter Forsberg of the Colorado Avalanche. There are a lot of athletes that had the spleen removed, man, it turns out. A lot of them.
Well, it's a dangerous sport, turns out. Well, hockey too, because it's another physical sport.
Oh, my goodness. You want to talk about a sport? Yeah.
I don't even understand, man. I don't even understand how they move at that speed, that consistently.
That's what's so impressive is the speed on the ice. I finally went to my first NHL games in Vegas at Golden Knights games. I've gone to 2 of them, the only 2 NHL games, and the speed of the skaters is absolutely absurd.
We can ask Nate Taylor the same question when we come back, or when he comes over here, because I do want to ask him the same thing I asked you, which is I try to get through camp, and I try not to just treat it as this means nothing. There's nothing to be learned. There's nothing to be gained. I'm well, then why do the teams come up here? So it's what did we learn? And I feel we learned that Josh Simmons, it can be the goods. Not just because Patrick Mahomes, as you said on Kay Adams, said that he could be the best left tackle in football, but just because of how good he is. And we learned that he won the job and he won it easily. I think we learned that Travis Kelce is in the best shape he's been in a couple of years, and you can anticipate counting on that. And then I think you learned some of the negative stuff, right? I don't want to put out the fact – I think we learned that Bashard Smith is not taking the starting job this year, okay? You could have hyped him up as much as you wanted a 7th-round pick. That man is behind at least 2 or 3 players probably on the depth chart. I think you'd said we learned that Tyquan Thornton will be a contributor. I want your answers, 913-586-7965, because I am trying to have a retrospect of at least what did we figure out about where this team is? Not just the offensive line stuff I said, but the things I mentioned.
No doubt. I mean, Simmons is the obvious, as you said. I mean, that's number one. We learned that, no question, he's a starting left tackle. His availability is not a question anymore. All those draft night questions are behind us. It is just, can he simply go out there and pick up the communication and that's going to be required between him and we presume will be Kingsley over at left guard. But, yeah, I do think Tyquan Thornton was a surprise in the fact that we've gone through this Camp Darling stuff before with Justin Ross and Fortson. Tyquan Thornton, by 2 days into practice, it was clear he's making the team, and Mahomes likes him. He's going to get some reps immediately with the ones because of his skill set down the field, because of the availability that we may not have for Rice. Is Hollywood Brown going to be available throughout the season? He's on the team, and so what we learned is it's not about Tyquan Thornton making the team. It's whether or not Nico Remigio and perhaps Jason Brownlee is the real competition at the very back end of the depth chart. Thank you very much. Our friends from Kona Ice just dropped off
Thank you.
giant snow can. Ozzy,
Hey.
he messaged me and said, what flavor? I said, I'll do cherry, and I guess for you I said blue.
Blue? That is a flavor. Blue has no... Blue.
Blue. It's berry. You know, it's
I'm
berry.
pretty open.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm an equal
Thank you.
opportunist in the flavor
Did you,
department.
is there? I guessed. I wasn't going to ask you live
what
on
flavor
air.
is blue?
Berry or something, right? Blueberry or just berry?
I don't know. It could be
It's-
like
it's
pina
berry.
colada.
I mean, this is
Berry.
red. This is definitely cherry.
Let me try it. Yeah, it's like
I could have suggested mixed for you. I
eating
figured,
this is always like having like an icy pop out of the freezer
Drew,
that's blue.
I'm just happy that Cody didn't say, well, I can just make a slushie. If you guys have one of mine, I made the bet.
I've never made a slushie. That's too far.
Okay.
Just an icy pop out of the freezer. You know,
I was
like
fully
any other
expecting
kid.
you to say, well, guys.
You guys
you
make-
got to make the slushie. Cody, because you
Cody
talk like
shakes
you're
his own
Iron
ice.
Chef
What are you talking
sometimes.
about?
I talk like a prime chef. I said he could steam his own broccoli. I said he doesn't eat a bag of broccoli and a bag of Bob Evans mashed potatoes. That man could just cook a potato.
Cody shaves
I didn't
the
say he had to
ice,
go out there and make
gets
sashimi
the-
for dinner
oh,
tonight.
yeah.
I said he could cook a potato.
Stop using big words around the kitchen. Stop. Stop.
Drew,
Huh?
what do you take pride on around the house? You know, what's your calling card around the house?
Around the house? Well, I'll be honest. If when I was younger, if you were to ask me, it'd be mowing the lawn. Dead serious. I loved mowing
With
the
your
lawn.
shoes off, we learned, right?
Yeah, we did learn that.
Most of the time, yes.
You're still welcome to come on mine. The wasps do appear to be gone.
Yeah, they did spray extra for you, just for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I would
Could you
say
imagine stepping on a wasp nest?
I
oh, my
I would.
God.
I would
Barefoot?
He wouldn't be able to
that
put a
would
shoe
s-
on.
oh,
His
yeah.
foot
Oh,
would have.
yeah.
His foot would have been.
Oh yeah.
I mean, his foot would have exploded.
I would say
think he'd
right
need
now.
crutches for a day or
I
something.
would say right now vacuuming.
Vacuuming.
I like vacuuming actually.
Do you leave the lines in?
Oh yeah.
Is it like mowing for you? Yeah, you like the carpet lines.
Yes. Yeah. It's
It's
very.
the apartment version of.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
I don't know what. It's aesthetically pleasing. I think
I hear you. I
to
get
vacuum.
What are they? The ASMR or whatever videos? That's kind of like the same concept.
Sure,
for me.
yeah.
You guys know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Let's get back to a few football things. Other than Tyquan Thornton, a few people texting in saying Noah Williams, his physicality, they thought stood out throughout camp, kind of the way Jaden Hicks did a year ago. Noah Williams was active. I know he was somebody on our Camp Darling Island we were talking a lot about. He's someone that in the preseason game at least was very active. You can see that he's going to be someone that Spags is going to love. Like we're going to be sitting here a year from now at camp, and he's going to be someone that Spags is raving about. Like he feels like a very much so a Spags type of player, the same way Jaden Hicks is. Like we've been around this long enough. You guys have seen him.
It'll
You
take
kinda
him
get
about half a
sense.
season, and then
Yeah.
he'll get trusted, and then he'll be out there. Because, again, most corners, linebackers, whoever it is, it takes a year, full year, to earn Spags' trust to the point that he's willing to, like, let guys like Justin Reed go. But once you've earned it and you're in the little circle, he's comfortable there. If we had any questions about whether or not we had made the right decision on Brashard Smith, I will say Dave Tobe was also critical of Brashard Smith in the press availability earlier. He said he was
Really?
He sounded a little terse over the fact that he fair caught and did not take out a kick return, citing the limited number of opportunities they are given to return kicks in a preseason game before it matters. Wanted Brashard Smith to take that kick out, find out what he's got. Never take a touchback in a preseason game.
No,
I'm
it
with
doesn't,
Tobe.
it doesn't help anybody.
Ever.
It doesn't
Did
help
you tell him
anybody.
that? Because that's the thing I would ask. Did you tell him never to take one in a preseason game? Did you make it that clear? Under no circumstances are you staying in the end zone. You are taking this thing out every time. We do not know how many chances we will get. We'll talk about the coaching of the regular circumstance when we're here at practice. For this game, take it out. We're finding out how far you can take a football. We're finding out how you can see lanes and blocks and outside that stuff. He's actually kind of got a point, at least on that end. I do kind of agree with you, though. Noah Williams is probably just one of those guys he'll love.
Someone on the text line was asking about the punter situation. Is there competition? Or
No, they cut the other
Yeah,
guy.
there is no competition. Ended very quickly. They ran into wide receiver injuries. They had a roster crunch. They would have liked to have kept 2 punters around throughout camp. Dave Tobe mentioned that. But, if you're talking about necessity of positions, of course, punter is not at the top of the list to have a extra punter at camp. And so, by default, I'm not saying Matariza wouldn't have won the camp battle anyway, but no, there was never really any camp battle.
If we're
in the preseason game, I will say, we saw the leg on display again. The question is going to be whether or not he's able to coffin corner inside the 10 type of punts instead of just kicking into the end zone. We had that one guy that texted and was very upset when we talked about Matariza last time, saying we don't know what we're talking about. We're not claiming to be experts, but the reality was they brought in competition at the beginning of camp because they were concerned about his ability to have a little more touch, if you will, on his punts.
Didn't he bury a couple, like inside the 5 or the 10?
Yeah, he looked good in the preseason game. He did.
Man, we're watching preseason. I did not pay any attention to that. You said he looked good?
He flipped the field, Cody. He flipped the field.
There was. It took me a second to realize.
You know what? I do kind of remember one. He hit kind of far.
5.
He kicked kind of far, and then the guy kind of bobbled.
We know he's got the leg. That's not the problem. It's more of the can he pin people back. Like we know he can kick a punt 75 yards.
Yeah, he did that on the very first punt, I remember, because the guy almost fumbled it right after they had gotten back, after they had already screwed up the kick in the previous drive, and then had gotten himself in that spot. Yeah, but I didn't learn that coming out of camp. I don't want any kind of what did you learn kind of camp? Matariza, he can do it. I'm sure he's fine, and I'm not overly worried about it, at least on that end, but at least we've got something there.
All right, up next, we will get to what's trending. We'll get caught up on an injury with a quarterback in the NFL today. What does it actually mean for that team heading into Week 1? Plus, we are expecting Nate Taylor to stop by. I believe they're wrapping up some of their media obligations over in the tent. It is some of the positional coaches talking today. So we will have Nate Taylor join us coming up next here on 96.5 The Fan.
This is Cody and Gold on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
It's a gorgeous day out here at training camp, which is why later tonight I'll be sitting out on my dream deck, which you can have thanks to all-weather decks. The right deck at the right price. Kansas City's most respected deck builder with pictures of their work at allweatherdecks.net. You can see reviews, project pictures, maps of all the work they've done throughout the city. It's nice to be able to see inspiration photos of other projects they've had done. You're like, I don't know exactly what I want my dream space to look like. Do I want that fire pit? Do I want this to come up next to the pool? Whatever your outside project is, you can get inspiration and build that dream deck thanks to All Weather Decks. They're a 24-time winner of Angie's List Super Service Award and will give you a free estimate if you go to their website or give them a call. 913-206-1974. Check them out at allweatherdecks.net.
MIAA fans, it's that time of year. Beginning August 19th, you can purchase 2025-26 MIAA Network monthly subscriptions, annual all-access passes, and individual broadcasts at fan-friendly rates. All MIAA conference regular schedule contests across 7 sports and other select contests will be streamed live on the network. Don't miss the 48-hour flash sale from noon on August 19th to noon on August 21st for $10 off the annual subscription rate. For more info and to sign up today, visit the MIAAnetwork.com. The MIAA. Bring your A-game.
This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, where we've successfully treated thousands of men for low testosterone and helped them feel like their old selves again. Please take a moment and listen to how we help this patient.
Hi, my name is John, and I've been on ED and testosterone treatment at Heartland Men's Health for the past 15 months. I could tell, I was starting to go downhill, and my wife kept telling me, well, you need to go to a clinic that'll specialize in that. And that's what eventually led me into the men's clinic here. Treatment, in my opinion, is a miracle. I was able to perform to an elevated position that, quite honestly, I never thought I'd see again. For my fellow men out there, if you're feeling that you're not up to par, I encourage you, contact Heartland Men's Health, and you will see a dramatic difference.
Thank you. It's true. Your initial appointment includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
This Labor Day weekend, we're celebrating Bob's Discount Furniture's 200th store milestone with the entire Bob's family across the country. For more than 30 years, we've believed everyone deserves the home they love. That's why we brought our everyday low prices on furniture, mattresses, and more to over 200 locations from coast to coast and counting. Not to mention free treats for the whole family in our cafes. Celebrate Bob's Discount Furniture's 200 store milestone this Labor Day weekend.
Oh, my Bob! Ugh, kitchen ants, runaway roaches, a spider. A spider! A spider! Relax, just use Zevo. Zevo insect killer sprays use a powerful blend of mint and rosemary to eliminate those pests and up to 20 other bug types. Plus, Zevo is safe for use around people and pets when used as directed. Just spray the bugs and wipe them away. Zevo, people friendly, bug deadly.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code CODE to get an extra 35 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code CODE for a 35 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code CODE for a 35 cents per gallon bonus.
Flooded bathroom? AC on the fritz? When things go wrong, you need reliable service fast. Call Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter and take $50 off any HVAC, plumbing, or electrical repair over $200. The pros at Hamilton are ready 7 days a week to fix the problem. Over 40 years experience, more than 8,000 five-star reviews, plus our exceptional service guarantee means you can trust Hamilton to bring comfort and calm back to your home. Visit callhamilton.com for details, terms, and conditions. License number 2025-11121.
If Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea was your best friend, it would be the kind of friend that starts an impromptu dance party in the supermarket aisle that turns into an all-day pool party rager at your place, and you don't even own a pool. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea turns any day into a legendary adventure. It's smooth and refreshing real iced tea with just the right kick of alcohol. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
DQ presents the sound of happy. Hear that? That's the DQ chicken strip basket. Only $7.49 for a limited time. We're talking 4 100% white meat seasoned chicken strips served with fries, Texas toast, and DQ's signature country gravy. Yeah, you heard that right. For crunch time and no time, it can only be the DQ chicken strip basket. Just $7.49 for a limited time. Get it delivered in the DQ app. Happy tastes good at participating locations.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Listen to the Chiefs and Seahawks on Friday with pregame starting at 8 right here on your exclusive home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, KFMZ FM and AM HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. What's trending?
Number one on What's Trending, we continue broadcasting live in St. Joe. Our final day of camp coverage here is brought to you by Break Time, Missouri's homegrown convenience stores. Download their mobile app and find a location near you. Similar injury list that we've had throughout the last week or so. Hollywood Brown not practicing, ankle. Jake Brenningstool, Ethan Driscoll, also Jalen Watson. Watson was at practice, though. Remember, he's in concussion protocol, but he was just on the sideline. No new injuries today. Really, it's just a waiting game for Hollywood Brown, and the assumption now at this point is that you just won't see him until week 1.
Correct. I mean, maybe you'll see him in a practice, but you probably won't see him in any kind of preseason game, I would guess. They typically wouldn't play the starters in the preseason, third preseason game anyway, and they're only 3 days away from their second preseason game anyway, which is Friday night in Seattle. Next up on What's Trending, Royals get game 2 of their series against the Nationals is tonight. They got game 1 last night after a couple of big hits. Kyle Isbell hit the homer, Salvador Perez and a few others came through for the Royals. Falter was okay. Obviously the pitch count got up a little bit, but stabilized after the first inning. He gave up a couple of runs. Royals in desperate need of continued winning ways. They'll take on Game 2 at Kauffman Stadium tonight against the Nationals.
Next up on What's Trending, Fox 4 reporting last night that multiple sources confirmed to them that Royals-affiliated company has reached an agreement that will give its ownership of the Spiria campus. That's the deal between Occidental Management and the Royals affiliate. Means there will be no foreclosure that could have tied up that property. This, of course, according to Fox 4, we all know that in May that the team affiliate purchased the troubled mortgage. Now, this does not mean the Royals are 100% going there at all. It just means, obviously, the ease to potentially move there. The door is obviously open, and it's a little bit easier process if they choose that with it versus the land going into foreclosure, that property going into foreclosure. Instead, an affiliate of the club has picked that deal up.
Next up on What's Trending, Packers GM Brian Gutekunst says quarterback Jordan Love is undergoing a procedure on his left thumb, it being a ligament issue. That's why he had it taped up yesterday. Said he's hopeful Love will return to practice next week and will be ready for the beginning of the season. But already having a ligament issue. Can't like that for Jordan Love.
No, never good, never good. Lastly on What's Trending, don't forget our Red Roundtable with Mitch Holthus and Dane and Hughes coming up on Friday, August 29th out at Hollywood Casino. It starts at 6 p.m. It's free, open to the public. You do have to be 21 or older. It is at a casino. Little Q&A with Mitch and Danon, plus a meet and greet afterwards to get you set up for the start of the season.
That's What's Trending here on Cody and Gold. Don't forget our Tuesday lunch partner is Boru Asian Eatery in Waldo, part of the Summit Hospitality Group. And yeah, we know what you're thinking. Taco Tuesday at an Asian restaurant? Think bao buns, the fluffier Asian taco. Head down to Boru in Waldo. Grab a bao bun for just $2.50 or switch it up with some ramen or sushi while you're there. Summit Hospitality Group, proud partner of Cody and Gold, can personally speak to their quality. Boru is excellent.
We got Nate Taylor from
Ever been there,
ESPN,
Nate?
our Chiefs insider.
You like a bao bun, some ramen?
Taking a seat, counting down the final 24 hours or so of training camp. You're up here tomorrow, we know that. We're not with the early start, but this is it for us today. Cloud cover, but like 77 degrees. It feels good out here. You have a big smile on your face.
I do.
Camp's almost over, of course.
It's
what is this? Carlos Alcaraz shirt here?
Got a nice little performance polo.
It's that ESPN money already, man. He's got a nice shirt on today.
This feels like a congratulations. We're in the last rung. They're literally lifting
I couldn't even hit the sled if I wanted to.
Sled.
Yeah, they're taking it all away.
An individual sled. It's a joy, guys.
Dude, it's hard.
We've done it.
This is like his version of like being a professional athlete. This guy's got to sit here and watch us while we critique him getting the sled on the tractor. But I couldn't do it, so who am I to judge? You know?
Right. I want to remind people that yes, you can still come out tomorrow. They will practice earlier because they want to get.
Is it open to the public? It's Military Appreciation Day. I didn't know if it was.
So.
Is it okay? I didn't know if it was or not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Check the website for me, kids. But they practice at 8:15 tomorrow. This is your last chance to get within feet of the guys coming on and off the practice field. It is in essence a glorified practice, but today was the last day where 225 full pads. We saw some slight changes in the depth chart today. I don't know how much that will be retained or visible for Friday's game. But yeah, this was a good day. I'm taking one long look at this lovely practice field.
What change did you mentioned a few changes out there? What stood out?
So Drew Tranquil came back today. So we did see him do some 7-on-7. That kind of informs you about, hey, will the Chiefs do 5 linebackers? Will they do 6? Again, that might be something to look for in Friday's preseason game. The big change today is, hey, is it a, hey, we want to see Jalen Moore at right tackle with the first group first, then sprinkle Juwan in. So they reversed the split reps. Before today, ladies and gentlemen, it had always been Juwan Taylor to start with the first team offense, and then after 5, 6, 7 plays, whatever, hey, there's Jalen Moore getting some work. Hey, you're at right tackle in case of a event occurring, an injury, yada yada yada. Today they said, hey, let's see Jalen Moore next to Trey Smith for the majority of the reps. So that's something to I have no idea if we're going to see this on Friday.
Gotcha.
But there are things that are happening. Obviously, we saw Christian Fulton today, so it's like, all right, well, I'm starting to understand where the safety room, cornerback room kind of look. We just talked to Dave Merritt, the defensive backs assistant coach, and it appears to me that Christian Roland Wallace is no longer a outside corner. He is a safety potential. Hey, you can.
He had a good preseason game.
Had a great preseason game, but
special teams too.
He not playing on the outside no more.
Gotcha.
So now you understand. Okay, Christian Fulton, obviously Trent McDuffie could basically be anywhere. Yes, you still have, Najee Johnson. You still have Joshua Williams. Obviously, Jalen Watson still has the concussion, so he will not play. Would be the expectation, I believe. He will not play against the Seattle Seahawks, but most notably, he would be your starter. So, again, is it a Joshua Williams versus Najee Johnson situation on Friday night against the Seattle Seahawks to see who remains on the 53-man roster?
What was your biggest takeaway from the preseason game? We only got a single pass from Patrick Mahomes, so it wasn't that. Other than, Brownlee made a nice catch, and it was a good throw. I saw some people trying to take that to mean Mahomes is they want to focus on contested catches as being a part of the thing. But that's one pass.
It's one pass.
I'm supposed to extrapolate that and say now they're a contested catch team even though they haven't been that? That seems like a stretch.
It's just something nice that you can show and practice on against another team in the red zone. They do need that work. So I understand that. And Brownlee's got a great ability to extend for such a pass over a defensive back that will normally be shorter than him. So, hey, I like it. I see it. Cool. It was instructive that Andy Reid said, get out. So Patrick's one test will be Friday. We should not see him in the last preseason game. He should then be focused on the Los Angeles Chargers. Outside of Josh Simmons, I think the other thing that jumped out to me is the situation that the Chiefs now have, mostly at, and we talked about this a little bit, like mostly at the running back tight end situation, because now I can see a 4-4 if you want to include Carson Steele into that. I could see maybe going to 3 tight ends, seeing if you can get Jared Wiley via the practice squad if you want. You can start to see the roster taking shape, and because they should actually play the starters more on Friday night, you're actually going to see the real depth chart, I think, on Friday. I think there was some experimentation, some testing, some things out. Hey, this is a fun game script. We can do this. We can do that. Friday, you kind of need to see what the team looks like at this current moment before you make decisions on cutdown day.
We got Nate Taylor, our Chiefs insider from ESPN, joining us after training camp practice, really one of the final practices of Camp 2025, and we have our Camp Darling Island. We're doing this throughout camp.
Smith got kicked off.
Monday we will crown our official 2025 Camp Darling. We have Tyquan Thornton, Jalen Royals, and Jason Brownlee left. Now, Omar Norman-Lott or Brashard Smith could technically do something Friday and get back, but we're down to 3 wide receivers as the Camp Darling. I would ask you, who would your Camp Darling be to this point?
Tyquan Thornton.
Okay.
I think he's the obvious favorite, but preseason games count on our eyes.
Right, yeah. And, look, I want to see more of him on Friday, too. I just think Tyquan, in terms of the – because we just talked about it with Brownlee. Tyquan, if he makes the roster, say over Brownlee, will still be the tallest receiver on the roster, which is crazy. So he is, in an Andy Reid offense, above average with height. Still has.
You could be like 5'11" to be above average height. Andy Reid offense.
Still has above. He fits the quad box really well.
Yeah.
Above average height, still above average speed, and has really connected with the quarterback. I just. If it's ever going to work out for Tyquan Thornton, man, this should be the year. Of course, I know people have asked me constantly, and I understand that. I don't know who the NFL's talking to, kids, but when that suspension occurs, whether it's
why isn't it? Come on already.
Cody, we've always talked for years, Nate, that no matter who it is, we think by August 15th. The league should be required if you're going to hand out a suspension that starts week 1, meaning you already know what's going on.
Right.
You should have to announce it by the 15th.
I understand that.
Should be August 27th.
Because that gives teams legitimately 3 weeks to prepare, to understand, like, hey, what's my roster going to look like on cutdown day? Who how many spots do I need to fill in the gaps for if I have 1 or 2 guys suspended? Totally get that.
What's the latest you think that? I mean, in all seriousness, they're
I know.
not announcing this a week before the season. That would be insane, right?
I gotta. Now
I said tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, right when the New Heights episode.
Don't you dare do that, Roger!
Do
don't do it, Roger Goodell! I swear.
Good cover.
Come on.
That's a pretty good cover. Because we all have to watch that tomorrow.
What if he slid it in at like 6:30? Just like
Did you order
6:30, and then the news cycle just Taylor Swift's.
Did you order it yet?
I showed Holly. Hey, dog, it's a 53. I literally said, I handed the phone at whatever it was, midnight.
Yeah.
11:11.
65-minute wait.
It's a 50. At the time, it was like a 50-something minute wait, and I said,
And you could have got in this morning fine with no wait.
Right. Which, again, that's her prerogative. I don't know if she's done that.
Wait,
she
actually did wait in line.
No.
Oh.
I showed her the phone. I said, I got to go to bed. We got to get out of here. But
you didn't even wear orange today in support, We could have all worn orange today.
No, that's tomorrow.
As someone who is a graduate of Hickman Mills High School.
You definitely got some orange.
Which our colors were orange and black, ladies and gentlemen. There are definitely things that I've worn in a previous life that I didn't maybe look so good in. Okay. The last person who did this musically, I believe, that just said, hey, I'm going to be all orange, was Frank Ocean. And that was 2012, and Channel Orange is a absolute classic. So we're stretching for a high mark. I know Maren Morris had an album that just came out earlier this summer called Dreamsicle, which is very good. Incredible body of work given her life right now. That has some orange to it, but not like we're just giving you orange girl summer, whatever, orange girl fall. Like
whatever they're calling it.
Starbucks.
Pumpkin spice latte.
Starbucks has to have been on the phone by midnight last night. I don't care what it takes. Get her in front like
I'd start calling things orange for sure.
It's a missed opportunity if Starbucks don't do what it's supposed to do.
It's crazy because I think it has to come from her idea. I don't think that they're just like, hey, want to announce your new album on our podcast? It's insane that New Heights got to announce that there's a new Taylor Swift album. Jason and Travis Kelce were the source of a new album for Taylor Swift.
I mean, they're in a very serious relationship, Travis and her. They're doing things that
Looking
benefit
out for each
both.
other.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing things that benefit both of them.
Yes, and again, like, the Swifties reach out to me, tell me, get in front of me.
Uh-huh.
When was the last time she did an interview? I mean, this woman has been a mystery.
Has she ever done a podcast?
A mystic. I don't think she has.
Nate.
Huh?
She doesn't need to do interviews. She's
Correct.
so
That's
big
the point.
now.
Correct.
Yeah.
So look, you have one of the biggest exclusive opportunities tied in with the fact that, we are in promo mode, and people have been asking if this relationship has been legitimate since day one. So you know what?
I know.
I'm gonna be right next to him, talking his ear off, and you're gonna see on camera how he reacts. Knowing that he's supposed to step aside. Hey, no one wants to hear from you this episode. Hey, let Jason be the host. Give us a couple reactions. Get out of the way, Travis. It's an incredible moment.
We were going through. What do you think the numbers are going to look like? because YouTube views, podcast views are two different things. But we were going through, like, on YouTube, the one with 4 billion is like the Queen Elizabeth's funeral. I mean, like, like they're 4 billion. I mean,
So they're not beating that.
she's not doing
The podcast record.
Could
This
she
will
get
do- this will-
100 million podcast downloads?
This will clear, guys.
100 million?
This will clear whatever measurement we've had for podcasts, and this is
That's crazy.
This is a moment in pop culture for podcast history. This is not, and again, I'm gonna show some of my age, but like, this is not like, hey man, I sat down with Barbara Walters, okay? Because when Barbara
Howard Stern, or some of those other like big interviews.
I was like,
yeah.
oh, Barbara Walters talked to who? What time?
Right.
I'm gonna be there.
Yeah.
This is not, hey, I talked to Time Magazine, and I spent a month with Esquire or GQ, or like
He did the GQ thing too.
I mean, yeah, obviously, but like, there used to be a time where it was like, okay, Julia Roberts, or what was the big magazine that Angelina Jolie did back in the day? Where it's like we had Angelina Jolie for a month, just
It's
access.
usually like GQ or Vanity.
Yeah, Vanity, yes, Vanity. Or
Vanity had the famous photographer who would do the covers and all that stuff.
I want to remind people too, like Serena Williams told us she was retiring in Vanity Fair. Guys, that would not happen today. So this is a big moment for podcasts. This is not the big sit-down interview with 60 Minutes. Again, with Katie Couric, Barbara Walters. It's a great moment.
How happy Amazon is? Didn't they sign? Didn't they sign New Heights to $100 million deal?
Yes.
They're getting their money's worth.
Well, they got their money's worth from this episode alone.
And it hasn't even dropped. I know people have asked, when does this drop? Is it
7 our time?
7 our time,
I think?
8 o'clock Eastern.
I think that's right.
Again, double check it. Get the YouTube link loaded up. Get that thing ready to fire off. I just have to imagine that you can't get to every question, but I guess from an editorial standpoint, my thought is, okay, do you give her
6 o'clock our time?
6 o'clock our time.
Yeah.
6 o'clock, guys. Get dinner early on Wednesday. And sit around and watch it as a family. How much do you talk about, like, editorially? How much do you talk about the album? How much do you talk about the summer, the relationship?
How long do you think she's going to be on the show? Like, is it
That's my point. I don't know. Like,
is it 30 minutes?
Is less more? I guess is the question. How much of the mystique does she want to, like, peel back to a certain degree? Because you always want to reach out and be relatable. I completely understand that. She's at a level that is insane, you could argue, and at the same time you're like, well, I still want to be this aura. I still want to build, like, mystery and obviously, like, just of the majesticness of, like, how much I'm a cult hero to a particular person in whatever state of their lives they're in. Obviously there's got to be, I think, a moment about football. You're on a football show. Like, let's
Travis was quoted.
Let's be clear.
He talked about how into it is. She's like watching injury news and stuff.
GQ article, she was talking about.
I thought easily the best quote of the entire thing was him talking about, like, it is nice to be with someone who understands what it takes.
Yes.
He's
truly be great.
He's been in other relationships. He's been with other people, but they don't understand the public scrutiny, the things that come with that, the pressure that comes with that, the work that has to go into that.
She did it at an earlier age than him.
Oh, dude, she started. She
at
started
an earlier age. So
nobody knew who Travis Kelce was until like year 3 or 4 in the NFL.
So she's got a wealth of experience and knowledge that she can obviously give proper perspective to. I was told. This is the first time I've said this, I think, publicly. I've told some fans, friends, family members. I was told midway through the first season, 23, that she reads everything. I'm sorry, what? No, she reads everything. Everything you write about him, she reads. Oh.
She's been listening to this show because we've said a lot.
Nice.
Now, in fairness, I've said he'll never age.
Nice to know. Nice to know.
Bionic Man.
Nice to know someone subscribed at the time to The Athletic, the New York Times. Does she want to
find you even easier now?
Does she want to get the ESPN app? Does she want to get the new direct-to-consumer app?
She can afford ESPN Plus.
I was told that, like, no, man, like, this is, for all the people that at the time speculated, like, how serious is this a publicity stunt? Is this like a, hey, like, stars aligning in a sense, but, like, it's a supernova. It's only going to last for so long. Like, I was told pretty clearly that, like, she reads everything.
Oh, there were all those.
And
we had
she's
guests
aware
come on
of
our
more
show.
things than you realize.
We had guests come on our show. The first, when it became public, like, oh yeah, it was a conspiracy theories about it was all fake and everything. How dumb do those people look now?
No, again, there was sort of
that kid will rule the world, man. That's it.
When she came for week 3 against the Bears 2 years ago, it was pretty evident that you could see it on. I'll just be clear, you could see it on Donna Kelce's face.
Nate, we got a very, very important text. Yes. Why do you guys care so much about this? It's kind of odd. Let's see.
Cultural phenomenon.
Let's see. Travis Kelce has the most popular podcast on earth, other than maybe Joe Rogan these days.
Right.
He's a starting tight end, going to be a Hall of Famer, maybe the greatest tight end in NFL history. His girlfriend, who could eventually be his wife, is maybe as famous as anybody on earth, other than maybe a president. That's about it. That would be why, and they're on a football podcast tomorrow, and it's all tied in with Kansas City because we know she's gone to games at Arrowhead with him. It's pretty obvious why we're talking about it.
She wrote a song with him in mind. Now there's a new album, and we don't know what the hell's in it, sir. And again, he's heard all the songs. I know he's part of the process to some degree. I'll also say it's important for this too, like. This dude's
He's probably heard the whole thing, man.
He's probably heard the whole thing.
Many times.
Right. He's a Kansas City legend. And again, guys, the team you root for has the most popular person as like.
It's weird. Yeah.
And again, I think I wrote. I think
Mark Donovan and the Chiefs are loving this. Even more.
I can't even think of a comp of what it would be. Like, at no point, Patrick Mahomes, he married his high school sweetheart. George Brett married someone like way later. Like, I can't think of a single time when someone in this city was dating someone
that important.
That
glad you brought up
that
Mahomes,
happens in L.A. or New York occasionally.
I'm glad you brought up
Derek
Mahomes,
Jeter did a bunch of athletes.
Two things I would say. I knew it was real when we saw Donna's reaction when she was screaming in the box, and then I said, "This woman got on a plane and flew to Green Bay."
That was enough.
On a December night. Oh, she loved this dude. She loved him because baby, ain't no way my wife is coming out to Green Bay to see me do.
That was
anything.
a picturesque night, man. That was a beautiful night. It was lost, but it was a beautiful night. I was just gonna say, Cody, you brought up Mahomes. He's the person I actually think loves this the most.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
It's taken so much of the attention off of him and his family.
And if I've said this before, like, I mean, Trey Smith and Creed Humphrey have known each other since 9th grade. They love each other. They are best friends on the football team. So now put that into the perspective of, hey, I was the first round pick, the first quarterback taken since Todd freaking Blackledge, and the first guy that I really hung out with, that I really connected, that wasn't Alex Smith, was Travis Kelce. You know what? Who's my best friend on the team? It's him. Who I'm going to business with is him. Like, my restaurant's gonna be out here, man. Like, what are we talking about? Like,
and he can take some of the public stuff off of me.
And I get to watch my.
You go on there night one. I could see Nate Taylor doing a feature.
They got a media open night. I'll be there.
What
Nate
night
Taylor,
is that again? Because
If they got that, I'll be there.
Yeah, because the other thing too, my best friend on the team, who we have this Hall of Fame connection with, we've won multiple Super Bowls together. I get to watch him, like, date this person and, like, get to know them, and, like, he doesn't see Taylor Swift as Taylor Swift, which is, again, wild to say, but that's true for Patrick. He doesn't see her as Taylor Swift. Like, that's just Taylor. So I think the way they all manage it, the way they've all become friends, there's a moment in the documentary between Brittany and Taylor that I think shows some,
the Kingdom one that comes out Thursday.
Yes, that shows that shows like a true legitimate friendship moment. And so it's wild. So yeah, I mean, right now, guys, we're in the preseason. I get it. Training camp's almost over. She went. When did they record this? Is my question.
The podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
When did they record this? Because you got to do a lot to get this all to work out. And again, we're in promo season, man. Like, when is the album coming out? September? October?
We'll find out maybe tomorrow.
How many tracks on this? Like, it's just, again, from an editorial standpoint, I would love to see what happens, what goes with it. We largely know who's on the teams. You know, good sir, good lady who's asking the questions.
53 is not a lot of mystery.
There's about 48 spots, guys, and we just need to know the final 3. And even Mike Bradway, the new assistant general manager, was like, yeah, we can maybe trade somebody. We can maybe bring somebody off waivers. So, again, the 53 that's here may not even be the 53 that starts on opening night. I understand it. I just want to know what are her football takes? I mean, come on. Like,
yeah, I kind of want to hear her talk about
I want to know
X routes.
Yeah, like, again, this woman has engrossed herself in the NFL, into football, for understandable reasons. Like, I want people to enjoy just how much of a rare, I guess, phenomenon this is. But to know that, like, you just got to be like, okay, like, if we were ever going to interview you, now seems like the perfect time. And guess what? You got a new thing to roll out there.
Incredible.
They blurred out the cover of the vinyl. I mean, ma'am. I mean,
smart.
Chef's kiss. Just unbelievable.
Nate Taylor from ESPN, our Chiefs insider. And yeah, we'll be talking, I think, about that documentary on Thursday. Sounds like you got a sneak peek. It's good, though?
It's really good. It's
new stuff?
Yes, sprinkled in.
Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna
All right.
get. Yeah, I think the point of it was to give you new stuff, behind the scene details, and I think from the Chiefs' perspective, they wanted to say, hey, if you were bandwagon and you just showed up in 2019, there's a lot more history and connectivity to the history of the franchise and to Kansas City specifically that most people might not know. So it's worth your time, and yeah, it's 6 hours of the football team that you root for that you just. When are you going to get another chance to see this kind of footage, this kind of access, this kind of interviews? Yeah, it's well done. I have to say that because it's produced by my employer, but it's also good to
Nate's going
to
to turn on
watch.
the mic and be like, here's some problems.
All right, up next, up next, though, I want to get to something that was released yesterday that honestly doesn't mean anything, but someone on the show really, really likes it, so we're going to discuss it. I'll explain what that is next.
This is Cody and Gold on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Go Yard all baseball season long with Underdog's Champions Game. That's right. It's one of the leading places to make all your sports selections you can play in your state on the Missouri side. So join people with over 100,000 five-star reviews and millions of players. I've told you, it's super easy. All you do is download the app, choose which players to go higher or lower than their stats. So last night, if you'd said higher for Salvi on 0.5 home runs, you'd have been a winner over at Underdog. Home runs, strikeouts, total bases, footballs around the corner, so yards, touchdowns, interceptions, all of those available over there. Plus, you can play with as little as $1. Get everything right, you can win up to 1,000 times your money. So turn $1 into 1,000 with your baseball and football knowledge. Download the Underdog app and sign up using that promo code TAPP, T-A-P-P, to unlock a special offer for up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make that first deposit. That's promo code TAPP, T-A-P-P. Must be 18 plus and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See underdogfantasy.com/web/deposit-mash-terms. Concern with your play. Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit www.ncbgambling.org.
Taco Tuesdays just got a whole lot steamier at Bauru Asian Eatery. Forget tortillas. We're serving up soft, pillowy bao buns stuffed with bold, flavorful fillings for just $2.50 each. Because who says tacos have to be basic? Come get your bao fix every Tuesday at Bauru in Waldo. Bauru, a part of the Summit Hospitality Group and a proud taco partner of the Cody and Gold Show on 96.5 The Fan.
Hi, this is Megan, your friend and jeweler from Shane Company. Did you know not all warranties are created equal? At Shane Company, our free lifetime warranty is all-inclusive and even protects the diamond in your engagement ring. We can offer such an incredible warranty because our rings are crafted to last a lifetime. As your friend and jeweler, our gift to you is peace of mind. At Shane Company, we also cover unlimited repairs, resizings, and cleanings for free for life, saving you thousands over time. Because a friend always has your back. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
It's not too late to enjoy your summer with a new or improved deck. Go to PowellExteriorsKC.com to schedule a consultation today. Get your free estimate now, and you could be enjoying your new deck or patio in a matter of weeks. You are one click away from your best summer ever.
To
Don't let pneumococcal pneumonia break your stride. If you're 50 or older, you're at increased risk. So be proactive with Capvaxive pneumococcal 21-valent conjugate vaccine to help protect against invasive pneumococcal disease and pneumonia caused by certain types of pneumococcal bacteria. Capvaxive helps protect against the strains of bacteria that cause about 30% more IPD cases than any other pneumococcal conjugate vaccine in adults over 50, according to national-level CDC stats. Regional variations may exist. Don't get Capvaxive if you're allergic to the vaccine or its ingredients. Tell your doctor if you have a weakened immune system. Common side effects include injection site reactions, feeling tired, headache, muscle aches, and fever. Capvaxive does not protect against all strains. For more information, call 1-800-927-8888 or visit capvaxive.com. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Capvaxive. Need help paying for your Merck vaccine? Visit merckhelps.com. Sponsored by Merck.
Eat up, buddy. It's almost time for school. You take charge of your home. You take charge of your work. Don't forget to take charge of your gut health too with Nature Made probiotics. Nature Made has clinically studied probiotics that work with your digestive tract's natural bacteria, so you won't miss a beat in your daily routine. Find us in the vitamin aisle. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Your cold is coming! Your cold is coming! When you feel a cold coming, shorten it with Zicam, the #1 cold shortening brand.
Oh no, not before my big trip.
The big trip you've been planning is coming up, and so is your cold. But Zicam can shorten your cold and get you back to planning sooner.
Thanks, Revere.
We really should keep Zicam in the house.
Shorten your cold with Zicam.
Take it from America's most revered messenger. Shorten your cold at the first sign with cold shortening products from Zicam, the #1 cold shortening brand. Available in stores or see where to buy at Zicam.com.
We didn't take to retirement like we thought we would.
We got bored.
So I thought I'd book a trip to Italy to celebrate retiring.
We didn't speak Italian.
We didn't then. We do now. Because of Babbel.
Babbel is the refreshingly easy-to-use app for learning a new language. With more than a dozen languages to choose, Babbel uses immersive lessons to teach you vocabulary and grammar in a way that sticks.
We set a goal for 15 minutes per day.
That's all we needed.
And Italy was just...
Bellissima.
That means beautiful.
In Italian.
From interactive lessons led by experts to conversation tips on real-life topics, Babbel's revolutionary teaching style keeps language in your head and easy to remember. Celebrating 15 million subscriptions sold. Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Moms and dads, do you wish you could know where your kids' shoes are at all times? Now you can with Skechers' newest Apple AirTag compatible sneakers, Find My Skechers. It's the latest genius invention from Skechers, the comfort technology company. With Find My Skechers, there's a can't feel it or see it. Then you can check where your kids' shoes are on the Find My app. Imagine that, just one look at the phone and you can see where your kids' shoes are. No more wondering or worrying. It's as easy as that. Plus, they're machine washable and durable, so they're long-lasting. And Find My Skechers are available for boys and girls. Look, we all know Skechers is famous for comfort, and now they're giving us comfort of mind when it comes to our kids. Get Find My Skechers, Skechers' newest Apple AirTag compatible sneakers at Skechers.com, a Skechers store near you, or wherever kids' shoes are sold. Apple AirTag sold separately.
Circa Millions and Circa Survivor are back with millions in guaranteed prizes. Details at circasports.com.
Circa Millions and Circa Survivor are back with a massive $21 million in guaranteed prizes. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere. $21 million guaranteed. Visit circasports.com for details.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Random question of the day coming up in about 8 minutes or so as we continue broadcasting live in St. Joe. Final training camp show for us as camp winds down. Don't forget our camp coverage is brought to you by Break Time, Missouri's homegrown convenience stores. Download their mobile app and find a location near you. You guys can always hit us up on the J Southland Tow Service text line, 913-586-7965. Video stream is still up. Obviously, we are not in studio, but Drew has our figurines, and you also never know who's going to stop by and start dancing in the background of the video. More reason to also check it out on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. Facebook, Twitch.
If you look close enough, too, in the chair behind you guys, you can see a little bit of orange on the chair.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know if you guys can catch that.
That's
little
that's,
orange. There you
a
go.
little glare there for some
Nice
reason. It's a
touch.
little orange glare. You
Okay.
know?
I like it. I like it. Yesterday, we didn't get to this on the show. It came out towards the end of the show. I know you're excited about it, Drew. I'm sure Binkley has been looking at it nonstop.
Bink and I talked about
that
it a lot
is-
yesterday, actually.
Yeah, I figured. I figured that, of course, is the first preseason AP Top 25 football poll. Texas was number 1, Penn State 2, Ohio State 3, Clemson 4, Georgia 5. And out of the locals, it was the Kansas State Wildcats that made an appearance in the top 25 at number 17. They, of course, will make their season debut coming up just in a week from Saturday, actually, in Dublin, taking on Iowa State.
We're almost there.
We are almost there. And look, I'm excited for the college football season as well. You know my feelings. This poll and any of the AP polls are so pointless when we have the college football selection rankings that are going to come out in November that they actually have decided this thing. And then here's where I actually feel better about my take yesterday. Cody was there when we learned something about this poll. So Bink has a vote, right? Which is awesome. He should have a vote.
He's supposed to.
But he said he doesn't start voting until in season. So you're telling me this preseason poll we're all supposed to pay attention to, the people that are voting in season, not all of them even voted in the preseason one? That means this thing's even more worthless.
So Rob and I, Rob Brenton of The Drive, and I have a theory as to why that happened. Bink was asked, I think it was in June or July, so we think a spot opened up, and the preseason poll had already been made ahead of when Bink was asked. So as a result, Bink didn't get a chance to put a preseason poll out. So hopefully, starting here in a couple of weeks, Bink will be requested to submit his official AP poll starting after week 0. Hopefully. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but that might be something to follow here as we get into the first couple weeks of the season.
I understand they're fun for some fan bases. They're excited. Their team's ranked, and this is not a anti-K-State thing by any means. You guys know for years I've been saying this, whether it's KU in basketball being preseason number 1.
That didn't work out.
No, it did not. But in general, this is not my team's ranked.
KU's been ranked in the AP poll as well in football here recently.
Yeah, well, and I use the basketball example for those that think it's some weird rivalry thing. I just, they don't matter. They just don't matter at all, and it's definitely even worse in football because the College Football Playoff Committee is who ultimately places these teams in the College Football Playoff. So their rankings that come out in November, we can dispute whether or not those are too early as well. But at least I know those people putting out those rankings are actually the people that are going to have to decide who gets in. The AP poll literally is just for writers to put on articles and for the TV broadcast to put a number 12 next to a team name. That's all it is.
Gold, I think so. I had the same viewpoint as you, I think, until last year, where I finally realized what the AP poll actually is more important, and that's because I'm not saying that we need to have it now, preseason-wise, because we don't. But if you mirrored what the AP poll was back in week, I think it was 8, ahead of the college football playoff poll in week 9, it was as soon like the week of.
They copied their work. It looked like they just stole the test.
It basically is the exact same thing, which I think is a problem because the AP poll, it is almost a copy and paste of what the AP poll has done. So I think the AP poll has significance, but it shouldn't, to your point, Gold, where the College Football Playoff Committee, I think, should not have any poll until week probably 6 of the season. Get rid of the non-con, see a couple of conference games, and then it forces you to watch the games then in that instance where, and if you're not paying, like Arizona State last year, that's why they stopped doing the preseason
out
polls.
West, how many teams are watching those West Coast
Exactly.
games?
It started becoming a thing where you weren't, like Pac-12 teams weren't ranked as high back in its heyday when they had all the other teams that they had. So by not having a preseason poll, I think to your point, it helps the sport out a little bit actually because the people who are making the decisions are forced to watch all of the games and then make the determination of who is better or not just off of, like Cody said, a copy and paste of the AP poll in week 9 or 10 of the season.
I think that they do. I think that you are underselling the fact that the AP poll clearly influences the College Football Playoff Committee's decision. I don't think that they just go into this in a vacuum and are like, you know what? We've just decided we had our own ideas of what these teams mean, and now we've decided to rank them independently, and it just so happens to be identical to that of the AP poll. I think they just look at the AP poll and start ranking based off of that.
So you think that if we did not have this preseason AP poll, the College Football Committee would just be lost and they would not know what to do?
I think that they would have to make up their own ranking system.
And I bet you it would be very similar still. Like, my point is, like, I don't think it's as complex as we make it out to be with the preseason rankings. It's all it literally is all just a lot of it is based off of recruiting from the prior year and perception about what quarterback looked good towards
Returning
the end of last
production,
season.
yeah, all of it.
You know, like I mean, it's their preseason polls are fun for fan bases. I get that. It just, and I guess the TV networks probably like them.
I think it's very important for the casual. I
Yes,
am
yes,
10,
I agree with you
15,
there.
20 times more likely to watch a game that says 3 versus 5 tonight on Thursday night versus.
It's a marketing thing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's
that's all it
effective.
is, yeah.
But I think it does influence. I think it actively. I'm not saying it doesn't have to. I'm not saying the College Football Playoff Committee couldn't just do their own thing, but they let the AP poll influence them.
Yes.
The AP poll is an actual barometer of where those teams are ranked relative to where they will be going to the college football playoff. It just is. It is an accurate representation of
Or
where
their
those teams will
resume
be.
by week 10 is very obvious who has the resume to be in the college football playoff. Like, is it because of the AP poll, or is it that by week 9 we know who's undefeated, we also know who's lost to what teams are perceived to be better than others? Like if I asked you to, if you had not paid attention to rankings all year, and Cody, I asked you to fill out top 25, I actually think your top 10 would mirror the AP top 25 even if you didn't know it. Like, at some point, if I just gave you a list and you looked at Big Ten, all right, these 3 teams are undefeated. They're 8-0. Wow, they probably should be ranked teams. It's the Big Ten. They must have played a pretty tough schedule. Like, I don't think it's as complicated as we make it out to be from weeks 1 to 10. When we get into the nitty-gritty and the College Football Playoff Committee is debating between the 12th team versus the 14th team if we eventually expand to 16, et cetera, that's fine. I hear what you're saying. I think you would come up with a very similar list, I guess is what I'm saying, even if you didn't know the list existed. That's all.
I think we agree with you that the people who are making the poll should be the CFP committee. It's like the AP poll. We get it. That poll.
I don't think they're any more qualified or less qualified. I think they're just as stupid at making the polls the AP is.
Yes,
I don't think they're better at it just because. And I don't think they're watching the West Coast games either. To be clear, I think they just lie and pretend they watch some of those games.
Which is why
I don't. Every college football game. Get the hell out of here.
Which is why you don't need an AP poll. Period. The college
or you don't need a college football playoff poll. Why can't it just be the AP?
That's just another marketing thing, too. They want people talking about it in November.
One poll's not more important than the other. They're equally stupid. Except for,
one does ultimately
There's one that does matter. And
one does decide.
But the AP one could just decide. It doesn't matter.
Correct.
But they don't. No, they don't. It can't.
They could. I'm just saying get rid of the college football playoff poll. Same difference.
Well, no.
AP now decides.
It's not getting rid of the poll.
The committee's making the decision.
The committee, their rankings are literally how they rank the 12 teams in the playoff, though.
Which is why I think you shouldn't have the rankings. You shouldn't have any rankings. Period. I know why they do
That's
it.
crazy.
I know why they. I know why
to
they
like
don't
a
do
college
it.
sport and to think that there's no rankings. That's just not how sports are.
But if you
rankings exist in every sport, golf, tennis, the NFL, it's by record and division standing. Rankings matter to fans. To just be like, I'm too of a purist. I need 0 rankings is crazy.
No, I understand that, but if you want the right, if we're going from golds, if we're looking at who the best teams are and actually getting it,
they don't get that right.
Watching that's because they already are going off of a poll that was created.
But my problem is if there was no poll, they'd still get it wrong. In the SEC, in the Big 12, they would still just be like, oh, Alabama's got 3 losses, but they lost to Georgia, so they should be better. It'd still be all opinion-based and nonsense and BS.
I mean, if your take is people will bitch to bitch, well, yeah, that's just life. It happens in everything.
I'm just saying, like, if we're trying to pretend like if the polls didn't exist, they'd somehow have some unbiased opinion.
I'm
or
not
they'd
saying
actually
that.
have
I'm just saying,
teams. That's crazy.
I'm just saying that the one at the end of the season that actually determines who has a chance to play for a national title is not the poll that everybody gets excited about in August. It is the college football playoff.
But
committee.
it is the same poll, I guess, is my
I guess
you know what I'm saying?
I don't think it is, but it doesn't matter. Like, we don't need to keep going.
If the college football playoff committee, here's my question. You said that, like, it'd be the same if they just, like, the no AP poll existed, they would get up with the same teams. If the college football playoff committee poll existed in week 1, they'd have the same teams too.
Maybe.
So the AP does. I think they would.
That's
like
why
you're saying hypothetical the same as I am. I'm saying I think they'd be the same.
Yeah, but the AP poll to this point in time though literally means nothing.
I think would be
what do
interesting.
you actually think it accounts? It
I
literally
think it is a
decides.
barometer
It
if you have a
decides
chance to make
nothing
the
though.
college
It is not linked with the college football playoff at all. With all due respect to Jay Binkley, his vote doesn't mean that Oklahoma's the 12th team. You know whose vote does?
Correct.
The random AD on the college football playoff committee. If your issue is with the people on the committee, then fine, that's a whole other conversation. But literally, that poll does not have any deciding votes or factor in who goes to the college football playoff. Only one does, and that is the college football playoff committee.
I still think it informs the other poll, though, so I do think it holds some value. I'm not saying it's a huge deal that Kansas State's ranked 17th.
Let's get
and Missouri missed.
Yeah, let's get to the random question of the day.
Random question.
For you, Gold. For you, Drew. Text line 913-586-7965. Of course, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook. You can catch us over there as well. I did find it interesting, by the way. The last thing on that is that Missouri is the first team since 1984 to have back-to-back double-digit win seasons and not be ranked in the AP Top 25. That was surprising for Missouri.
Got to be about the question, that quarterback,
in
right?
the SEC, that
Don't
is.
you think it's the quarterback
They're getting ripped
question?
off. SEC team, back-to-back double-digit win teams, not in the AP Top 25. Surprising.
Still having a quarterback battle.
Yeah,
That's
I'm sure.
what it is.
I'm sure that that's part of the problem. No doubt about it. This goes back to what we did with the food earlier, Drew. So for you guys, you had shared a photo on Instagram. Although Gold sees your maybe I'm just not on Instagram as much.
It's just his story. It pops right at the top.
Gold sees the Instagram. Maybe I'm just not on the app as much. You see his stuff very quickly.
It's right there at the top.
I miss it until you mention it on the air that he's doing thirst traps and food posts. So Drew, who's been posting food posts and thirst traps over on Instagram. Those are available over there at Drew B. Nix, I assume. He's kept them the same.
Is that your Instagram?
It is different on Instagram, but there's no need for it's fine. You don't need to follow me on there. It's too complicated to explain the username. Anyways.
You got to simplify where people can find you,
Is it the old one? Is it like the Dear Roo Nix thing or whatever?
Close to that, yes.
Okay, but not quite the same as that.
No, it's not.
Good luck finding Drew on Instagram. Golden and I will have to tell you what you find on there. But he posted a photo of food. So the question I have for you, now this is, you have to cook. So, I don't want your eating out thing. You have to cook. You got 24 hours notice. People are coming over. What is the dish you think you can safely manage in a 24-hour window to cook for a group of 6?
Oh, this is easy. You're probably going to say this doesn't count, but I think it absolutely
What
counts.
is do you cook? But you're trying to impress them, right? I'm not just saying
this is easy. I'm
putting something bad on the table.
I'm going to the store and I'm buying I'm buying 6 KC strips and I'm grilling steaks and doing baked potatoes.
Steak and baked potato. No
All
veggie?
right. We can
You got a salad?
We can do some corn on the cob on the grill as well.
Corn on the cob is going to be the veggie. Just regular baked potato. Are you going to offer toppings? We know that you don't like
butter
toppings.
and sour cream.
Will you be offering
I just need
toppings
butter, but
to
I will
your
offer.
guests?
I will offer sour cream if they
Just
want
2
it.
toppings for a baked potato?
That's it. They can bring
Can
some
you
bacon
get a
bits.
green onion?
They can bring some bacon bits if they want some. All right.
This sounds like we're going to be unimpressed.
They can bring some chives if they want. That's my answer, man. Grilling steaks. What's wrong with that?
From
Just
the
a couple
chicken
KC strips or
carbonara is their immediate choice in there. It's tough because somebody said lasagna. I do think if you're talking 6 people, 6 steaks, man, that's expensive. Kind of a pain in the ass. Not a pain in the ass. They're not hard to cook, but it's
some
like
strips. I mean, I prefer fillets, but with 6 people coming over, we're just gonna do some strips.
Drew, do you have your answer? What would you do?
Spaghetti.
Like you're making the sauce, or you just open a can of Prego?
Are you dicing the garlic as well?
I'm not dicing garlic. No, I'm buying the ground beef from the store. I'm getting the noodles from the store. I'm getting Prego from the store, and we're making spaghetti, and also probably getting some crescent rolls as well.
May I suggest Rayo's? I believe is how it's pronounced.
R-A-O.
That's
Rouse?
the better. Yeah, that's the much better jarred pasta sauce. If you're doing jarred pasta sauce,
we do normally get. We used to get the roasted herb and garlic. Rouse.
That Cascone
Rayo's.
sauce is pretty damn good. You can buy it at the store. Obviously, the
I haven't had that
restaurant's great, but they sell it you can get it in a
so
jar.
you're saying that's up there?
That's pretty good.
I think you have to go like a baked dish. I think I would where you can serve a lot. I think I would do enchiladas. I got to serve 6 people. I got 24 hours notice.
It's definitely cheaper.
Not crazy ingredient wise. Everyone likes Mexican food. I feel like I don't feel like I'm missing any stuff. I don't have to prepare. You don't necessarily have to have a side dish. I could just have chips and salsa. Chips and salsa. Here you go. If you want an appetizer. I got to do this on short notice. Here you go.
Text line,
Enchiladas do not take a terribly long amount of time to make. And crowd pleaser.
Text line, would you rather go over to someone's house that's grilling you steaks or making you enchiladas?
Yours is definitely more expensive. There's no doubt. Yours is going to cost $150. I mean, I'll make the enchilada sauce. It's not canned stuff. I'll make the,
I'm sure it tastes
I'll go
good.
through the trouble. It doesn't take
I'm sure
super
it tastes
long.
good.
People are saying corn doesn't count as a vegetable. They want a real one. Someone says make your own sauce. It's simple to do.
Corn doesn't count as a vegetable. Huh?
That's what they said.
What?
Somebody says they're smoking a pork butt. You can do that in 24 hours notice. Those things take 16 hours. Better not screw anything up. Better make sure your ass is starting right then. You're starting to cook the dinner that second. The second they told you we're coming over for dinner in 24 hours.
Yeah.
You're
You
in
see
the
this?
kitchen.
Someone says filet, sea bass, cream spinach, risotto, salad, creme brulee.
That's something I would expect
Wow.
from you, Cody, is that sort of an answer.
That's a crazy thing to do on 24 hours notice. I'm not afraid to make a nice dinner for people that come over. But with fish, you got to know that that's your crowd. I don't mind. Sea bass is really good fish, but I got to know that that's the crowd. You, Drew, Alex would bring in a date and you and Bree come over. I don't know if you like sea bass. Never seen Alex
I
eat
think I've
any
had sea bass
fish.
before.
So, like, it's rich. So, like, you'd probably like it. As far as, like, people who don't like fish, it's probably higher on the, like, you like it even if you don't like fish. And you can, like, wrap it in
Gold, someone from the 402. I'm from Nebraska. Corn is not a vegetable. What is
Google
corn
it.
then?
Botanically, it's not, but if it's fresh corn, it's a vegetable.
Wow.
It's corn on the cob.
What?
You said that as someone who just Googled it.
I just Googled it.
It sounds like
is
you
it a
just
grain?
Googled it. If he's saying botanically, it's not.
Google. Everybody can do it at the same time, you know? Is corn a vegetable? And tell me what pops up. Tell me what pops up. It's considered a vegetable when it's harvested young and tender, like when eaten on the cob, which is what I said. However, it's considered a grain when it's harvested, mature, and dry, when it's used for cornmeal or popcorn or tortillas. The question was the side. I said corn on the cob, did I not? Which means it's a vegetable. Anyway.
According to, is that AI? I don't trust AI.
Yep, it's AI. Never lies.
Dude, that thing is wrong so much. Can we get a real answer?
Scientifically, corn is a grain, all right? But in the culinary world, it's a vegetable. We're talking food. It's a vegetable.
Someone say corn is a starch.
Oh, boy.
2816.
Oh, boy.
Someone said they would make pizza rolls if money was no object.
Pizza rolls? That's if money is an object. I mean, I don't think you're going to miss a lot of people with a pizza roll. That's a tough one to show up and offer as a meal for everybody.
But I don't know. Hang on a second. Grilled cheese and macaroni with hot dogs in it from the 913.
They said if they're cooking for 5 of their child's friends.
You've never done hot dogs and macaroni? That was a staple of the Tap family.
In macaroni? No.
Someone says, Gold, how are the steaks cooked? Up to you. Typically, I start with medium. That's my. If you don't tell me how you want your steak, we do medium, and no more than that. If you want it rare, obviously medium rare we could. But medium's would be the standard one. If you just came over and you didn't tell me how you like your steaks, medium. What about you guys?
I'm also a medium person.
Medium rare.
Yeah. I used to be medium well, but I'm more medium now.
But that is the challenge.
Yeah,
I would say
different people,
I think steak is easier to mess up than enchiladas.
Oh, see, I think steak is hard to mess up unless you're a complete moron with the grill. Like, you got to be. I mean, come on.
I've had a bad steak before.
Well, we've all had a bad steak.
I don't know if I've had a lot of bad enchiladas in my life.
Yeah, well, some of them get you sick, like your cipino. You know, that'd be my concern.
That did not get anyone sick. And that was way more than a decade. That took forever.
Someone said they're catering Chick-fil-A nuggets. You can't do that because Cody said you
I
have
said
to,
it's not eating out.
Make
We're
it.
cooking food.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you got to make something. And it's a short time frame, so you can't, I don't know the best dish you make for people that come over.
So if I had a show to a dinner party and there's hot dogs and the mac, I am leaving.
I said as a kid. I probably haven't had it since.
Yeah, you have a bunch of 5 adults come over and you have mac and cheese with hot dogs. Yeah, I'd be like, what are we doing? What?
Honestly, I would appreciate that more than when I went to. I
don't know if I ever had hot dogs and mac and cheese.
I have not.
I've obviously had hot dogs and mac and cheese separately. I don't think I've ever had
on the plate together. What's the difference? It's one.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but it's not like intentionally.
Having meat and macaroni and cheese is not that offensive. This is not one of those ones that I feel like seems like that big of a deal. I don't make it any. I mean, I didn't make them when I was a kid. It was served to me. But they also serve me Salisbury steak and all kinds of other awful things.
I'm curious, what's more off-putting, hot dogs and macaroni or Bob Evans microwavable mashed potatoes?
Cody's never had the Bob Evans
Yeah, that's
mashed
right. You said you
potatoes.
haven't had them
I'll say this. I've had an instant mashed potato, and it is.
They're not instant, though.
It
In
is
Drew's defense, they're not instant.
hideously bad.
In Drew's defense, these are not instant.
So what makes them less instant? They're already made, and I just warm them up.
Correct.
So they're just frozen?
No, they're refrigerated. From Bob Evans. Like they taste like Bob Evans mashed potatoes.
I'll pick some up. I'm not going to make them as part of a meal. I'm not going to do that to myself. But I will pick some up.
Look at this guy, hoity-toity over here. Too good. He's too good for. Cody worked at a restaurant, guys. I don't know if you know, for 10 years.
There are some things that are easy to make that I think you should just make them. Mashed potatoes. And again, maybe
Drew
it is
didn't
better
want
than
to
a
do that.
regular
It was just dinner for him and his wife. They just wanted something quick.
But potatoes, you can make the quantity you want to make.
He didn't want to deal with it. He didn't want to deal with it. He just wanted to pop something in the microwave. That's all he wanted to do.
A lot of people, one person.
I actually think you're going to be pleasantly surprised.
I think
I told you I will reserve the right. Maybe I was too harsh on those too soon.
There's a couple different flavorings.
Maybe they are acceptable.
Get the original.
Mashed potatoes.
Get the original. Don't get the whatever other ones. Yeah, I know which ones.
See, that's already a bad start in my opinion.
What do you mean? There's different flavorings.
And you're saying all those flavorings stink.
No, I'm just saying get the original. That's the one we're talking about.
I didn't say they stink. Just get the original ones.
I almost want to bring one in tomorrow and have you try it on the air. I'll have it for lunch. I'll have it for lunch. I'll just eat a whole tub.
Yeah.
A tub? They come in tub form?
Yes. Yes.
That's crazy. I told you, we'll try it. I'll give it a shot.
If you bring it tomorrow, Gold, then I will go and microwave it during a segment, and I will mix it and stir it and everything.
Send me a reminder, and I will go to the store tonight and buy Cody one to try. I will do that. All right.
Someone says they're real mashed potatoes, so they're better than you think.
Yeah, they're not instant. I want to be clear. That's why I defend Drew on that one. All right. Up next, somebody says he's not coming to Kansas City anymore because he got his feelings hurt. We'll tell you who it is.
Cody and Gold, brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. Follow the station on Instagram for ticket giveaways and behind-the-scenes content from the show at The Fan 965.
98 years. That's how long Overhead Door Company of Kansas City has been repairing and replacing garage doors. Locally owned and operated since 1927, headquartered in Olathe. Always look for the iconic red ribbon of the genuine, the original Overhead Door Company of Kansas City. For same-day repair service 24/7, call Overhead Door Company of Kansas City, 816-221-0072, or schedule online at ohdkc.com.
If you have back-to-school shopping to do, then you should make Macy's your first stop, because Macy's has back-to-school styles from brands like Nike and Jordan, must-have denim from Levi's and Good American, and now Macy's has Abercrombie Kids too. It's all in one place, all at great prices. And here's another reason to come in. If you're already at Macy's and you saved so much, you could stop by the fragrance counter and pick up something for yourself too. The best back-to-school styles are here now at Macy's.
Our biggest deal is back. The Tires at Cost sale at Telly Tire and Auto Centers. You pay what we pay. No gimmicks, no catch. All in-stock tires from Telly's huge inventory at cost. Plus mounting and balancing by certified tire technicians for only $27.95. The top brands, the lowest possible prices, with a 30-day ride guarantee and lifetime tire protection. There's never been a better time to replace your worn-out tires. These unbeatable savings won't last long. Hurry and reserve your tires today. Take care of your car. Take advantage of our sale. Take it to Telly. Additional charges apply for junk tire disposal and road hazard warranty.
Hey, it's Rex here with RexBuysKC.com, your local KC home buyer. If you own a property in the Kansas City or surrounding area and want to sell it fast and at a fair price, write this number down, 816-330-6000. I'm a private real estate investor, not some hedge fund or large national chain. My family and I live right here in KC. I can pay cash and close on your timeline, even in as little as 3 days. Here at RexBuysKC.com, we're improving Kansas City one house at a time. I buy inherited houses, vacant houses, foreclosure houses, behind in payment houses, my tenant won't pay the rent houses, and properties that need complete rehabs. Do you own a house that's trashed and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at this number, 816-330-6000. That's 816-330-6000, or go to RexBuysKC.com. That's RexBuysKC.com, and I look forward to working with you.
When your reputation's on the line, you don't leave anything to chance, especially your primer. Painters trust Kills primers for a smooth start, strong adhesion, and serious stain-blocking power. And now, the full Kills lineup is available exclusively at the Home Depot. Need it fast? Get same-day or next-day delivery, or order online and pick up in-store. Kills primers. Pro results, faster. The Home Depot. If you're a pro, you know.
What is your next success story? At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can succeed again with more than 135 affordable online degrees and certificates to help you move your career forward. From cybersecurity and AI to healthcare and MBA, our programs help you build critical thinking, leadership, and communication skills that set you apart in today's job market. Apply now and save with no application fee through September 3rd. Visit umgc.edu to get started. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Attention, small business owners. Do you need funding for your business? At LendSeek.com, we provide revenue-based working capital programs from $20,000 to $1 million. So whether it's funding for inventory, equipment, expansion, payroll, or other needs, seek no more. All it takes is just one simple application to access over 100 funding products that are powered through our breakthrough AI-enabled lending platform to get you the best options in today's marketplace. If you've been in business for at least 1 year with monthly revenue of at least $50,000, you could receive the business funding you need when it matters most, regardless of your personal credit score. funds in your account in just 24 hours with no collateral, no prepayment penalties, and no restrictions on how you use the funds. There's no obligation and zero out-of-pocket costs. So apply for the business funding you need today at lendseek.com. That's LENDSEEK.com.
We didn't take to retirement like we thought we would.
We got bored.
So I thought I'd book a trip to Italy to celebrate retiring.
We didn't speak Italian.
We didn't then. We do now. Because of Babbel.
Babbel is the refreshingly easy-to-use app for learning a new language. With more than a dozen languages to choose, Babbel uses immersive lessons to teach you vocabulary and grammar in a way that sticks.
We set a goal for 15 minutes per day.
That's all we needed.
And Italy was just...
Bellissima.
That means beautiful.
In Italian.
From interactive lessons led by experts to conversation tips on real-life topics, Babbel's revolutionary teaching style keeps language in your head and easy to remember. Celebrating 15 million subscriptions sold. Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
You can listen to the Royals and White Sox Friday, August 15th on The Fan, AM 610, with Vern's On Deck shows starting at 6. KFMC FM and AM HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
1 o'clock hour here from St. Joe. It's Cody and Gold, Alex Gold, Cody Tapp with you. Drew Nixon producing the show back in KC. This is our final show out of the studio for camp, and we're back in studio for a couple days. Next Wednesday, we're in the studio, then we head out to Las Vegas for our Circuit Sports.
Have you looked at the weather? I have not.
I haven't looked. I don't care what the weather is. I don't
hot,
care.
dude.
I don't care. We're going to be inside a majority of the time. We'll also then be out at the pool. I can't wait. Circuit Contest weekend. I sent an email out. I think we've got multiple people on board to do an entry as a show/station this year for Circuit Millions. I'm excited. Dusty's in. I think you're in. I'm in. I think our boss, Spec, is in. We just got to get a few more people to split this thing up and
do an entry?
Do a Circa Millions, man. While we're out there, we'll sign up. Obviously, there's a lot of cool stuff going on. If you're going to sign up for a contest, that's the weekend to do it while they've got a bunch of happy
cool
hour
events.
stuff going on. But you have until September 3rd to sign up for the Circa Survivor Circa Millions contest out there in Vegas. You can enter in Nevada, play from anywhere. If you're someone that's going to be betting every NFL weekend anyway, I don't know how much you're betting, but if you're going to do that, you're getting 5 picks a week by entering the contest. You might as well have a chance to win some big-time money, and obviously they got the quarterly contest as well. And even if you stink, they also have a booby prize too, Cody. If you're just the worst, which is harder to do than you think, but if you are literally the worst at picking games, you can win money as well.
You know, I'm sure, and there's going to be a lot of people making that same joke. My account would certainly suggest I am.
Well, what happens is somebody starts like the first 2 weeks, and somebody out there
starts
the first
1 and 9,
0 and 10,
0 and 10.
Yeah, 1 and 9, 0 and 10, and they're like, "Well, do we try to just?"
I feel like I can't cave that early.
Well, you
I'm
also
gonna be accidentally bad for a while.
Yeah, there's quarterly prizes. You could have a bad first week and still find a way to place. There's multiple areas to make some money. So we're excited to head out to Vegas. Circa, they're a great contest they do. It's the world's largest sports book. Cannot wait to head out there. But I saw somebody yesterday continue to get traction based off of him calling out Kansas City. So I said, we got to talk about this. We got to talk about this. You guys are probably, not all of you, but a lot of you know who Zach Bryan is maybe. He's a country artist. Admittedly, he's got a couple songs that I really like. But he was attacking Chiefs fans on social media the other day. So he now has pledged to never perform in Kansas City. He was beefing back and forth with a Chiefs fan who ended up actually tweeting at me last night. He's like, "Hey, I'll come on the show and talk about this." I was like, I think I got enough of the details, though. But Jordan Carter on Twitter responded to Zach Bryan's tweet where he said, "Where are all the three-peat people from last year?" Taking a shot about,
That's
of course,
the
Chiefs
weakest
failed.
attempt to dunk on somebody.
That's right. They won two.
They were two Super Bowl winners before they lost in the Super Bowl.
So the Chiefs fan, who I guess is a listener of the show as well, said talking bleep in general is all good. He singled out one fan base, that same fan base that sells out his show. Zach Bryan commented back, said, "Please understand, I will never play in Kansas City." To which people reminded him quickly, "Next year, Cody, he has a show in Bonner Springs." That's Kansas City, pal. You still have a show in Kansas City.
Is he going to cancel it?
No.
Otherwise,
I bet he's
toothless.
not. I bet he's not.
Then it's toothless.
I bet he's not.
don't know. Why
The fan then told Zach Bryan to remove 5th of May, live from Kansas City, from his digital-only album. Done, brother, Zach Bryan responded. As of Sunday morning, the track, of course, is still on his streaming services. This guy's a clown. Zach Bryan, country artist.
I think Dusty really likes him, too.
No, he's got a couple really good songs. That's what sucks. I didn't realize this guy was such a clown and hated Kansas City. That's unfortunate because if you go and look at his 2 top songs on Spotify, you've heard him, Cody. I know you're not a big country guy. You've heard him, and I think you have. And Drew, I don't know if we can play a snippet of.
I know very little Zach Bryan.
Which one you want me to play?
If you just go to YouTube and go top 10 and play any of his top 10, I bet you Cody's heard them.
So he's an Eagles fan? Is that what's going on?
I think he's a Broncos fan.
It says who is a known Philadelphia
Eagles fan. And he was in Denver. Sorry, that's what happened. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, so.
Drew, I Remember Everything is a popular one if you want to pull it. I Remember Everything.
Okay, all right, I'll pull
it's
that one.
It's him and Casey Musgraves. Anyway, great artist. Just seems like kind of a D-bag, honestly. Calling out Kansas City. Says he won't perform here. You got a show in Kansas City next spring.
If he shows up, then he's a coward. He's a coward.
Well, then
he's not full of
it. He's just, I mean, he already said he was going to remove it from his digital track, and he didn't.
Maybe he's getting around to it, A lot of stuff to step in there, Got to call Spotify, get your agent on the phone. Yeah. Has he ever gotten in trouble for anything else, or is it just this thing that we don't
I don't know a ton about him. I know, again, he's got a couple songs I really like, and then I was like, oh, no. Because then I cross-checked. I'm like, who is this guy? I'm like, wait, he sings this? I'm like, no, because I actually like the song. But he's going to call out Kansas City, man.
All right, I got some of it. You want to hear it?
Yeah. Let me hear it.
A cold shoulder, a closing time, you begging me to stay till the sun rose.
I have not heard this song before.
It's one of his popular songs right now. Wow, we just got buzzed by a.
I can hear it.
C-130 again. My goodness.
He's a. It doesn't seem like he's a pop. I don't want to say pop country. I don't know if that's the right phrase, but he doesn't have
new country.
Don't you think?
Yeah, it doesn't feel like a pop country, new country sort of feel to it.
Yeah.
I guess.
Don't you think the text line's correct that everybody, if he has his show still, and you're some reason still paying money to go see him, everybody should be wearing Chiefs jerseys?
Yes.
I mean, it would be great.
That would be very funny. But also, it's just like if he's going to trash the city you live in, it's like part of me wants to have a little civic pride.
I know.
Like,
it stinks because I actually like his music.
Too late now. Somebody else I see
someone says don't play his bleep on air, giving him everything he wants. He was recently in the news for being in a. Oh, I'm like, I don't know that to be confirmed. I don't want to start saying some of that, but okay. All right.
Before you're, come on, man. We're not trying to get slandered.
There was a lot of traction there was a lot of traction regarding that text. I don't remember exactly when, but when it came out, there was a lot of traction.
If you Google him and Barstool, there was some stuff, but yeah, man.
Oh, he faces some accusations of hurling a slur in a bar incident earlier this year. I don't have to like this guy. If he's just going to say awful stuff, yeah. And again, it's an accusation, so it's on camera.
He hates Kansas City. Why should you support somebody that hates Kansas City?
All because of a football game, man? Like, I know you dislike I know you dislike the Broncos. You're not like just, I hope Denver burns to the ground.
No,
like, right. It's okay to hate.
I'm also not.
You hate the Raiders, and we'll be in Vegas next week.
But I'm also not a country star that has fans all over the globe.
Some other country star in the other articles when I was Googling him, it just said, some other country stars, if you can't handle the criticism of a 14-year-old, why the hell do people even idolize? He's just a thin-skinned baby. Yeah. I got it.
Yeah.
Oh, he's just, poor got his feelings hurt. And, I understand we only get it on a local level. What do you think? I don't get things over on the text line calling me mean things constantly. We've had slurs over there, hateful stuff over there. That stuff happens. That's just part of being a public-facing personality. What are you offended because they won back-to-back Super Bowls and you can flex because your team won. But, one guy responding and then you saying, I'll never play Kansas City again. You better mean it. I'll say that. You're going to say stuff like that and be a big country star. You better mean it. Don't show up to Kansas City.
He went on to say, bro, all you have to do to tick off a Chiefs fan is play a fair game of football.
Oh, so now now the game's rigged?
Yes.
Oh, boy. Ugh. That's just crazy. Lame. Someone said they never heard of this artist before. I've heard of him, and I listen to very little.
He has since tweeted out, I miss you,
I don't know that song.
He since tweeted, I miss you, Bonner Springs, coming to play next year. He tweeted that it's a 30-minute drive from. It's still part of Kansas City.
Is he trying to claim that isn't
That's
Kansas
what he's
City?
trying to. That's what he's trying to claim.
That's on my neck of the woods.
That is part of Kansas City, pal.
Okay.
Part of Kansas City.
Hey.
That's crazy.
Now we're only doing proper.
No, guys. If you travel, probably literally, maybe.
I know you're right by
if
it,
you
Drew.
travel maybe 3 minutes north of Sandstone, guess where you hit? You all of a sudden are in Kansas
If you're
City, Kansas.
performing in Bonner Springs, you're performing in Kansas City. If you're a touring
Correct.
national act,
You could walk to Kansas
why
City,
do you think,
Kansas.
with all due respect to Bonner Springs, why do you think he's going to Bonner Springs? Because
Honestly,
he's bringing in the Kansas City audience.
Kind of
Come on.
embarrassing for him. He's not even got stadium tour stuff. Oh yeah, this guy's still got to go play out. Can't even get the stadium tour, huh? All right, going to be a little harder to fill out Sandstone. Next thing you know, he'll be one thing down.
Text line's confusing Drew with JT, who filled in. Someone says Drew doesn't know who the Eagles are. No, that was JT.
I do
that
know
was
who
JT.
the Eagles are.
Yeah, JT filled in for Drew 2 weeks ago, and he's what, 25 years old, I think, and he didn't know who the band the Eagles were or are.
Really?
That's
Man.
different, and that's not true. That's not true.
That's tough for JT. I do know who the Eagles are.
It was a pretty tough day, man. And then he didn't know who JTT was, and I bet you don't know who that is either.
Hey, hang on. Say that again. Who
JTT? Do you know who Jonathan Taylor Thomas is?
No.
Just an age thing. He was like a child star when I was a kid. Alex remembers Jonathan Taylor Thomas. He'd have been on the cover of a lot of teen magazines.
Wait, was he?
He's the main star of Home Improvement.
Oh, if you were to show me a picture of Home Improvement, I know I watched Home Improvement. My parents loved that show when I was growing up.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas was the star of that show. Besides Tim Allen.
I wouldn't have been able to tell
He's
you
the
that.
main kid.
I would not have been able to tell you that.
Just got to work you through one way or another. Since we're already getting mad, let me play you some audio. This was Bill Simmons on his podcast talking about why Josh Allen is better than Patrick Mahomes.
Hang on, bear with me.
Drew sabotaged the clip.
Here it is.
He's
now.
too busy playing some other Zach Bryan.
He's a big fan now.
I am absolutely not. Here he is.
I did not have Patrick Mahomes at the top of the pyramid. When it came right down to it, I just think Josh Allen's the best quarterback in the league. Game by game, regular season, durability. He can make chicken salad out of chicken. From what we saw from Mahomes last year, which I want to go into in a second, I just don't think it's fair to put him over Josh Allen, especially because Mahomes didn't win the Super Bowl last year. So when you saw that, what was your reaction?
My first reaction was I thought this goes against everything I thought I knew about you in terms of, honestly, from having, read you, listened to you, working with you, talked to you. I thought you had sort of a life principle that when one guy has the belt, somebody's got to come take the belt. If it is that close, and Patrick Mahomes has been to 5 Super Bowls, won 3, has played Josh Allen 4 times in the playoffs and beat him every time. I hear what you're saying. Those aren't Josh Allen's fault. I totally agree with that. But still, somebody wins, somebody loses. That's sports. I feel like Allen needs to either beat Mahomes and get to a Super Bowl or just win a Super Bowl to actually get the belt.
I guess my question is it possible that he might have peaked a couple years ago as like Apex Mahomes? I'm talking through it. I'm not trying to be reactionary guy. I just don't think he was as good last year as he was in that 22 season and some of those other years. I didn't see it. I thought they kind of lucked out. They were 11-1 in 1-score games, and some of them were really stupid wins. And I'm going to say this to Patrick Mahomes. Prove to me I'm a shithead. Go take your
What's up,
belt
Kansas
back.
City? This is Bobby Witt Jr., and you're listening to Cody and Gold, weekdays starting at 10 on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by
I know you
Men's
are,
Health, the leader
Pot
in
it out, my
men's
man. There we go.
No, it is. I don't know what happened. I do not know what happened.
Bobby Witt Jr. wanted to chime in.
I guess so.
We're,
All right.
we're back.
The Bill Simmons clip, though, that you guys just heard prior to that. The belt thing is weird because I do think someone in the AFC has to win a Super Bowl before you can even have a case for someone taking the belt from Patrick Mahomes. I think we've all acknowledged last year was not his best season statistically. It's pretty obvious it wasn't. He was checking down a lot. I think if you pay attention, we all know there's a ton of factors that went into it. Some of it was Mahomes himself. Some of it, a lot of it, was the offensive line play on the left side. Some of it, a lot of it, was his wide receiver situation with Hollywood Brown being hurt and Rice being hurt for majority, if not all, of the season. This idea, though, that Josh Allen, who I still think is the second best quarterback in the league, has taken the belt from him. How is that even possible? The obvious thing is he's 0-4 head-to-head in the postseason when it matters most. The other part is Josh Allen has not made it to a Super Bowl and won a ring yet on top of that. So how can you take something from somebody that has been able to dominate you in the biggest spots and you don't have anywhere near the hardware or a piece of hardware other than an MVP trophy?
Please do not talk about regular season wins if you're going to discount postseason wins for starters.
Yeah.
Can I point out one of the obvious things that I don't think is mentioned as a part of this? That you and we can all take this public perception of Patrick Mahomes, man, he's just not the same Patrick Mahomes, and that other than one stat, the numbers between Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen were not that different. I'm not saying that the Josh Allens weren't better. Can I tell you some numbers and you tell me that, like, wow, these are so much different? Josh Allen last season threw for 3,700 yards. Patrick Mahomes threw for 3,900. All right, so he threw for more yardage. Patrick Mahomes threw 26 passing touchdowns to 11 interceptions. Josh Allen had 28 to 6. Those, again, are not dramatically different numbers. The rushing yardage totals, you're going to say, well, I bet there's a pretty big advantage there for Josh Allen in the rushing yardage total. He had 531. Patrick Mahomes had almost 400. So total yardage-wise, Patrick Mahomes actually has him. The only statistical category in which there's a dramatic difference between the two last year's rushing touchdowns, and that is largely based on the fact that Josh Allen runs him in from the 1 yard line. We're making an entire false argument on the idea that Josh Allen just ran in the end zone more in a singular year. That's it? I like Joe Burrow's numbers are further apart from Patrick Mahomes than Josh Allen's last year. Like it's kind of crazy to me that we look at Josh Allen's year last year and we're like, oh man, he's taken the belt from Patrick Mahomes. Because of what statistical anomaly? Because Patrick Mahomes only had a couple of rushing touchdowns and Josh Allen had 10, 12, whatever the hell the number is. Patrick Mahomes doesn't QB sneak. Or maybe has 5 or 6. It's not a statistical difference. It's not a substantial statistical difference. It might be 3% last year. And so, like, I think it's kind of crazy. I just feel like there's a need to defend him because everybody thinks or feels like he should have been in a Super Bowl and won one by now. But because Patrick Mahomes held him down, they feel the need to defend his play and to defend the play. But they don't defend Lamar Jackson's that way. I don't feel like they defend Joe Burrow's that way. I think it is because what you mentioned earlier. I think it's because Josh Allen's just more likable as a dude.
I don't
think there's anything. I think it's just, and I think Lamar is really likable too, but he's quiet. And I don't think it's like, I genuinely don't think there's anything other than they just kind of like him because there's no other defense for, like, let's put him at the top of the mountain.
Yeah, someone said you guys are missing the fact that Bill Simmons said regular season. He never mentioned playoffs. But that's our point. Is like you don't judge who's the best quarterback in football by what they only do in the regular season.
The regular seasons weren't even that different last year.
The regular season numbers in particular, if the only who's the better regular season quarterback, I'll be honest, I don't really give a damn anyway.
Oh, I don't either. But even if we're factoring that in, I just pointed out over the last 2 regular seasons, they are not as different as you think. Like you're in your head like conflating a number that you're like, oh, it must be significantly different between the two, and you're like, it's not, other than rushing touchdowns. That is the only category in which Josh Allen holds superiority year over year over Patrick Mahomes. There is no other statistical category in which that is regularly the case. Other than that, over the last 2 years, Patrick Mahomes has 8,100 yards and 53 passing touchdowns, and Josh Allen has 8,600 yards and it's not showing the passing touchdowns for whatever reason. I can guarantee you a similar number of passing touchdowns. And so it's like, they're not even that dramatically different over the last 2 years statistically. So we're just pretending like there's some stat or measure that doesn't exist outside of that. And then the postseason, which is what we've largely agreed as a society, is what separates good quarterbacks from great quarterbacks. He has less passing touchdowns the last couple of years and 1 less interception, Josh Allen. They're the same quarterback. He has like 300 more rushing yards and like 100 more passing yards over the last 2 years. Same number of touchdowns, same number of interceptions. Rushing touchdowns is literally the only statistical category in which every year Josh Allen is better. And we talk nationally. They talk about it like these are 2 quarterbacks doing different things with their careers right now statistically. Like Mahomes is being held back. Mahomes has been doing it with no wide receivers and no offensive line. Josh Allen's been doing it with limited wide receivers, admittedly, and one of the better offensive lines. So, okay. It doesn't mean, and then the playoffs separate the 2. In the regular season, they put up similar stats. The postseason is what separates him. He's 0-4. Patrick Mahomes has won 2 of the last 3 Super Bowls, 3 of the last 6, or whatever it is. And so it's like I don't understand the defense of him. I think must just be because he's a nice guy.
Yeah, look,
I can't figure it out
think Josh
outside.
Allen. It'll be interesting in the next year or so, though. If at some point people will flip even more. If you're saying that Josh Allen doesn't get criticized enough for losing to Mahomes, I guess that's a fair point to make. At some point, people are going to say, "All right, you haven't done it," and more people are going to continue to be critical. But what he is saying about Josh Allen and Mahomes, I disagree with, but it also doesn't. I know, Drew, you're waiting to chime in. Like, it doesn't also mean that Joe Burrow has done anything more than Josh Allen. Joe Burrow hasn't been in the playoffs for 3 years, so like, to me, it applies to all 3 of them. And yeah, Josh Allen has been to more AFC title games, I believe, and he's been able to come across as a much more likable guy. So that's just the reality of how this works from the national conversation. I'm not saying from a football angle, but from the national conversation, if you're wondering why do people view him differently, I think some of it is, people like certain quarterbacks better.
I also think there are Lamar and Joe Burrow apologists just the same, and they've all accomplished what I think is to be a pretty much equal amount in the NFL. They've got 3 MVPs between them. Joe Burrow doesn't have those, but he's been to the Super Bowl, which Lamar Jackson, and he didn't win it, but he's been to a Super Bowl, which Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen haven't done. Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen have won more divisions, have won more MVPs. They're like equally accomplished people, in my opinion. I do think they apologize for Josh Allen the most, but I think there are Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson apologists, too, that want to put them in the range of Mahomes and then just ignore like the playoffs are a thing that don't exist.
Josh Allen
it's weird
also,
for because Tom Brady. But.
Yeah, and Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson also have been in the league longer than Joe Burrow has. So I think
a year or what?
Josh Allen's been in there 2 more years than Joe Burrow has. Josh Allen has been to 2 AFC title games. Joe Burrow's been to 2 AFC title games.
Okay. I mean,
but I think I know.
If he gets to 1, I'll give him credit.
I think
he's still got to do it in the next 2 years.
I think I know what the comp is, how people are looking at this list now. I think people are more forgiving of Josh Allen and people like him more, and because the narrative last year, I remember, I think it was specifically Mike Greenberg last year, was really talking about how much Josh Allen had to do to make his team better. And taking Mahomes out of it, because we know how much Patrick Mahomes elevates his team. They're not looking at what Patrick Mahomes has to do because they're comparing Patrick Mahomes to the 5,000-yard Patrick Mahomes. They're comparing Josh Allen to them having the same record and them still making the playoffs amidst not having Stephon Diggs, and all of a sudden it's, look at what Josh Allen has to do. You know, he has to do so much. And Joe Burrow gets the flack because, well, he's got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. That's not Joe Burrow's fault. It's just that's the way the card's laid. So I think that's why people have more sympathy for Josh Allen, even so much to have him over Mahomes, because they look at him not having any weapons. He's never had Tyreek Hill. He's never had Travis Kelce. But look at what Josh Allen can do and how good his team is. Even though the division is easier than both the AFC West and the AFC North, people aren't looking at that. I think they're looking at the weapons and what they've had over the course of their careers, and that's why people are saying Josh Allen is better than Mahomes or Burrow or even Lamar Jackson to an extent as well. I think that's the angle that they're looking at for this.
Yeah, and I would agree with some of what you had to say about the weapon comparison. I think some of that's fair, but then we get into the defense, right? We get into the also, to your point, the Buffalo Bills defense also has been way better. But I also think we're forgetting last year. You're saying the narrative last year about Josh Allen. You and I both know most of last season there was a lot of poor Joe Burrow. His defense is so bad. Oh, my God. Don't act like people weren't showing sympathy to him. Everybody's saying Joe Burrow's putting up insane numbers, but this poor guy has a terrible defense. Can you believe how bad his defense having to do everything? I'm not even saying it's wrong that he had to do everything, but like this idea that nobody was acknowledging how bad his defense was and saying poor Joe Burrow would just be revisionist history.
I think that to that point, I would say then why did they think Josh Allen was so deserving of the MVP? Because his team was better, even though he wasn't as good.
MVP is
from
a
a statistical. I understand that, but I mean,
he made the playoffs. I mean, that's a big. I mean, if you want to know the truth, like a lot of it is at some point. The excuse making can't be there. Like this year, if the Bengals miss the playoffs,
I'm not even saying that Joe Burrow should have.
Again,
I'm not even saying
it cannot just be poor Joe Burrow. At some point, you have
Lamar Jackson was better than Josh Allen in every single statistical category last year, outside of I think one or two things.
We all did the show together. I remember we all said that Lamar Jackson should have been the MVP of the league. I don't dispute that.
Yep,
I'm just saying the the woe is me thing about Joe Burrow, everybody was sympathetic and gave him plenty of like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening. And I'm just saying, if he misses the postseason again, even more reason why, though, you cannot make a case above Josh Allen. At some point, you do have to overcome things, man. Like, we can't be sitting here when Joe Burrow's 30 and say, he's missed the playoffs for 5 straight years. Can you believe how bad everybody else is? At some point, well, then request a trade if it's everybody else's fault.
I mean, I guess that's what it takes. Like, if Joe Burrow makes another AFC title game and he beats Josh Allen during the regular season.
And he wins the Super Bowl, then he's the number 2 quarterback. It's not even close.
Hold on a second. If he beats Josh Allen again, which he's done his whole career, and he makes an AFC title game, and Josh Allen his career
loses to the Chiefs?
Yes, but let's say Josh Allen doesn't even make it there again. You're still not going to so you're saying, Gold, for him to Joe Burrow has to win a Super Bowl for him to get to number 2?
No.
He has to beat Patrick Mahomes in an AFC title game within the last 3 or 4. It'll be 4 years by the time we get to January.
Even though he's beat Josh Allen every single time he's played, and Josh Allen has never made it and never won an AFC title.
These two teams play each other, and
evidently Joe Burrow just has to do more. I think it just seems to be, if Joe Burrow doesn't win, let's say he makes it to the Super Bowl and doesn't win it again, are we still putting Josh Allen at 2 if he loses to Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs?
I'll be honest, I think we're kind of splitting hairs. I don't think that there's a real big difference between Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and Lamar Jackson.
But if
if
Burrow makes a Super Bowl again, and Josh Allen did,
he would probably be the second best quarterback.
I mean, it just feels like he has to do more to get, not even for people to feel bad, because I know that a lot of people felt bad, but
when you haven't played in the postseason in 3 years, people are going to feel like you need to do much.
If he'd been in the postseason these last 3 years, I don't even think anybody would argue with you. True?
You're saying that if they made the playoffs, then Joe Burrow would be number 2 on your list, hands down, if they made the playoffs last 2 years.
If he had made the playoffs each of the last 3 years that he has missed them, I think everyone would almost universally agree he's the second best quarterback in the NFL. But because his team doesn't succeed ever, or very rarely in those cases, I think that hurts him, yeah.
That doesn't make you a better quarterback, though, I don't think, does it?
It's not the end-all, be-all, but we're having a conversation about everything that goes into it. Everything that goes into it. All right, we're late for a break. Up next, let's get to what's trending. We'll talk a little bit more about the Royals and another big one tonight against the Nationals.
GimmeTheVin.com's big cash giveaway. I hate games and scams. So when we had the idea to give away $25,000, I was very careful about the way it was orchestrated. Get the top of the market money and enter to be the lucky person to get $25,000. This is no joke. This is no game. This is very real. Just like GimmeTheVin.com.
No purchase necessary. For official rules, go to GimmeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GimmeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Start the school year with hot deals on Lunchbox favorites and snacks. This Friday through Sunday, shop back-to-school must-haves like Hy-Vee cereal, Lunchables, family-size Little Debbie snacks, and Goldfish crackers. Stock up on Coke 12-pack cans just $4.99 and Jack's Pizza only $2.99. Too busy to shop? Order through Aisles Online. Schedule a pickup or delivery and leave the shopping to us. Save time, save money during the 3-day back-to-school sale this weekend only at Hy-Vee.
Well, if you're like me, the busy season is here. It's back to school time. It's back to sports time, and that means we are so busy every single day. And Hy-Vee's Aisles Online helps us out so much. It's so easy. Just download the app or go to Hy-Vee.com. Choose your store, select your items, and Hy-Vee does all the shopping. All you have to do is pick up the order or have it delivered to your home. Hy-Vee is taking care of everything as we head into the fall season. Save time, save money. What could be better? Only at Hy-Vee.
Ain't nothing gonna break my stride. Nobody gonna slow me down.
Don't let pneumococcal pneumonia break your stride. If you're 50 or older, you're at increased risk. So be proactive with Capvaxive pneumococcal 21-valent conjugate vaccine to help protect against invasive pneumococcal disease and pneumonia caused by certain types of pneumococcal bacteria. Capvaxive helps protect against the strains of bacteria that cause about 30% more IPD cases than any other pneumococcal conjugate vaccine in adults over 50, according to national-level CDC stats. Regional variations may exist. Don't get Capvaxive if you're allergic to the vaccine or its ingredients. Tell your doctor if you have a weakened immune system. Common side effects include injection site reactions, feeling tired, headache, muscle aches, and fever. Capvaxive does not protect against all strains. For more information, call 1-800-927-8888 or visit capvaxive.com. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Capvaxive. Need help paying for your Merck vaccine? Visit merckhelps.com. Sponsored by Merck.
DQ presents the sound of happy. Hear that?
That's the DQ Chicken Strip Basket. Only $7.49 for a limited time. We're talking 4 100% white meat seasoned chicken strips served with fries, Texas toast, and DQ signature country gravy. Yeah, you heard that right. For crunch time and no time, it can only be the DQ Chicken Strip Basket. Just $7.49 for a limited time. Get it delivered in the DQ app. Happy tastes good at participating locations.
What is your next success story? At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can succeed again with more than 135 affordable online degrees and certificates to help you move your career forward. From cybersecurity and AI to healthcare and MBA, our programs help you build critical thinking, leadership, and communication skills that set you apart in today's job market. Apply now and save with no application fee through September 3rd. Visit umgc.edu to get started. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Home title theft. It's on the rise and it's devastating if it happens to you. Listen to the alarming words of an actual home title thief.
I don't need to know your date of birth and social security number. All I have to do is go to public records, create a document, and file that document. And then I can borrow against the house or sell the house. You may have no clue until you find out that your house has been sold or till several loans or several banks are foreclosing on you.
For pennies a day, Home Title Lock puts a virtual barrier of protection around your home's title with 24/7 monitoring. The instant they detect any tampering, you'll get an alert. And that's bad news for home title thieves. So when's the last time you checked on the title to your home? Find out if you're already a victim with your free title scan and complete title report. $100 value free with sign up. Just go to HomeTitleLock.com and sign up in minutes. That's HomeTitleLock.com. HomeTitleLock.com.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
This report is brought to you by Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka in Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka in Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. Proud partner of the Kansas City Royals. Each can of Surfside is only 100 calories, and the best part, 0 bubbles. Grab it at the K or ask for it at your favorite bars and liquor stores.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. What's trending?
Number one on What's Trending, we continue broadcasting live in St. Joe. Our training camp coverage is brought to you by Break Time, Missouri's homegrown convenience stores. Download their mobile app and find a location near you. There was no Hollywood Brown out here today, still with that ankle injury. There was no Ethan Driscoll. Jalen Watson is in concussion protocol, but he was standing on the sideline here on the practice field. Jake Brenningstool still also out. He's been out really and probably will continue to be out. He feels like either a cut guy or an IR stash for the entire season. Elsewhere at practice today, as we talked with Nate Taylor, basically Jalen Moore was getting some first-team right tackle reps. I still don't think there's a real battle there, but it's something to keep an eye on as we continue through the preseason game on Saturday night or Friday night.
Next up on What's Trending, the Royals get Game 2 of their series against the Nationals tonight after getting the first and important game against them last night. Falter only went about 4 innings, allowed 2 earned runs, but did settle in. Obviously, the pitch count got a little bit out of control for him. Bullpen picked him up. Estevez gets his 30th save of the season. It'll be Michael Wacha versus Parker tonight. Wacha with a 6.9 record, 3.36 ERA. Royals just 1 game below 500. You can hear that right here on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
A little injury news in the NFL today. Packers general manager Brian Gutekunst said Jordan Love is undergoing a procedure on his left thumb. Ligament issue is what they're saying. That's why it was taped up yesterday at practice. They do hope and believe he will return to practice next week, therefore be ready for week 1 of the season. But yeah, you never like seeing that. It sounds like it's very minor, but you never like that for Jordan Love, who has a chance, and in a very difficult division. Can this be the year where the Packers jump above everybody? The Lions maybe take a slight step back. The Bears, do they improve? Do the Vikings take a big step back with McCarthy? That then you just kind of have the Packers. I feel like they're that team that's lurking that could all of a sudden end up being one of the best teams in the NFC and a top 5 NFL team, but also they've been in this middle range for a while.
Next up on What Trending, Major League Baseball dropped its plan to start the World Series early if both league championship series are short, announcing that it will just start on October 24th. Last year, obviously, they could have moved up the series 2, 3, 4, 5 days because those series went short, but instead stuck to the original timeline. I kind of wish they'd do that, man. I don't know why the NBA doesn't do that. I understand, like, for fans and tickets and travel and all this stuff, Gold, and people and working. But sometimes when these league series will go, like, 4-4, and then we just got to wait around for a week for them to start, it seems kind of stupid when there's only 2 teams to go. But Major League Baseball will start the World Series on October 24th, regardless of what happens in the championship series.
That's what's trending here on Cody and Gold. Earlier today, the general manager of the Kansas City Royals, J.J. Piccolo, joined us. We got his perspective on some of the injuries, timeline for Cags, but we did start asking about the urgency that exists right now for the ball club.
Well, there's urgency in the sense that there's just over 40 games left in the season, so you got to make a move at some point. But at the same time, if we're thinking about what our record is on September 15th, and here we are on August 12th, we're probably making a mistake. We got to go night to night, and tonight's the most important game of the season, and tomorrow afternoon will be the most important game of the season, and that's the way we've got to play it out the rest of the year. But we just got to take every day in stride and do the best we can and try to put ourselves in a position to somehow get into this wild card spot.
JJ, you mentioned like the mistake stuff. What would you say is the cause between this year, what seems to be a sloppier baseball team, right? Base running errors or mental mistakes or things I don't feel like we're as accustomed to from the team last year, where it felt like those things were more buttoned up. Because I think about the 4 games you guys are part in the wild card game, and I feel like I can find those games for you guys in some of those games where like the mistakes that don't have to happen, not like you strike out, but just like a mental mistake.
Well, there's no doubt that we've made a lot of mistakes that have really hurt our chances to win a ball game. And, it's no secret our offense has struggled this year. I mean, we've been talking about it all season. And, when you're not necessarily clicking on all cylinders on offense, you better play good defense. You better run the bases well. You got to do all the other things right. Fortunately, our pitching has given us the opportunity to even talk about the playoffs right now. But we do believe the bats will come around, but whether the bats come around or not, or the pitching sustains what it's doing, we cannot make some of the mistakes that we've made over the last, magnified here the last 10 games or so, because it's, really is damaging to your chances to win a game. And, we've talked about it with the coaches, and how do you explain it? I know our processes are no different, and I'd say even better than they were last year. Our results haven't been as good. So why is that? And I think what's happening is because there's been some expectations this year, as a team that went through one season in the playoffs, you start putting more pressure on yourself, and you're trying to force things. We don't need to force things. We need to play smart baseball. So whether it's a miscue in the field or a missed opportunity on the base paths, we have to eliminate those mistakes, because sound baseball is something that we take a lot of pride in throughout our organization, from the minor leagues on up to the major leagues. And we haven't been as sound this year as we were last year, hence our record. And that's just the way the game works. We can have all the data and information and all the great game planning that goes on, but if you don't play good baseball, you're not going to win. That's the bottom line. It's the major leagues, and you can't make multiple mistakes in a game because it's going to cost you. The other team is a talented team as well.
How do you fix it mid-year, I guess, if that makes sense? Like, if it's been something that's plagued you, is there a coaching element? How do you guys go about, like, trying not to put too much pressure on them, obviously, to do that? But, like, how do you hope that those problems get resolved?
Well, they are major league players, and there's a way you have to handle every person, and every guy's a little bit different. Some guys you can address it right there in the moment, and other guys you might have to go to them the next day. But it certainly needs to be addressed, has been addressed. You want guys to learn, and there are some young players on our team, first time up in the major leagues, that they're making some mistakes they didn't make in high school or college. But when you're in the major leagues and the stakes are high, you may try to force things too much, and then it's just a reminder, hey, it's the same game. It's all relative, whether you're in A-ball or the big leagues. it's all relative in the sense that the talent level in A-ball was the talent level in A-ball. The major leagues, that's the major league talent. But the game is the same. Keeping the double play in order, taking an extra base when you have the opportunity to, playing smart baseball when the scoreboard tells you, you need to play smart baseball. There's not a need to be aggressive. They're all discussions that happen every single day with our coaches and our players, and we just got to keep pushing it because it has to get better.
We're talking to J.J. Piccolo here on 96.5 The Fan. I want to go back to Sunday and I guess really even yesterday with Bobby Witt Jr. He was back in the lineup. Is it just a back tightness thing that you think he's going to have to deal with the rest of the way? It's just one of those things eventually it's going to require some time off? Or where are you guys at with Bobby Witt Jr., who, of course, last night was back out there making a great play in the field?
Yeah, it was great to see him. I thought he made two really good plays that would have tested his back, and he felt great after the game, so that's a good sign. We've got to keep in mind this guy plays every game, and he plays it with a different set of skills, which, his body is going to be taxed more than most guys night to night. So I think it's normal that guys are going to go through some soreness. We don't think it's serious in nature, I can tell you that, or he wouldn't have played last night. But after he warmed up yesterday and went through pregame, he said he was much better and ready to play tonight, and we're hopeful that that's how he feels today. But we just have to keep an eye on it because clearly we need Bobby on the field, and we would not put him in a position to jeopardize a longer term or an IL stint. We would not do that. We'd rather give him the day here and there to try to get him through the season. And like most guys, rest and recovery after the season is the best time to get things healed up. We just have, I think it's 43 games starting tonight. 43 games he's got to get through, and hopefully another handful in October. But he's a pro. He'll help us with it and communicate with us.
While we're talking about health, Hunter Harvey, unfortunately, back on the IL. It feels like he just can't catch a break, since he was acquired by you guys.
Yeah, I feel terrible for him because he's throwing the ball so well. He did it the first 10 days or so of the season, didn't give up a run. He comes back, and he's throwing the ball exceptionally well. He was throwing the ball well in the minor leagues. We actually cut his rehab short about a week because he was feeling so good. Hard to explain. He pitched a great inning. Then the next day, on Saturday, Sunday he comes in. He says, my groin's a little tight today. He didn't go to bed with soreness, but he woke up with soreness. Maybe that's a little bit of adrenaline, because he's out there and he's competing and he doesn't feel anything. But the next day it was sore, and then yesterday was not only more sore to him, but visibly sore to our training staff, and we knew we had to put him on the IL. But hopefully we got ahead of it in the sense that it's not anything really serious, and hope to get him back here by say early September.
You guys have added obviously a couple more pitchers. What do you guys make of your early returns on Falter and Burgert? You've gotten 2 starts now out of each. How have you felt about it?
Well, Falter, I thought, was better last night. He ran a high pitch count. Obviously, his first game in Boston, wasn't indicative of who he is, and I don't even think last night was. But, he made a couple changes to some pitches yesterday, and he got a really high number, his highest number on the year as far as percentage of swings and misses, because we Brian Sweeney and pitching staff made a couple quick changes with him. He bought right into it, and he had some success, but really – it was more about being in the strike zone and not having that pitch count run up the way it did. That was a situation where you like to try to get a fifth out of them, but where we were in the order, we felt like it was the right time to not go at the top of the lineup third time through. But it was much better. This start was much better, and we know that he'll settle in. And Burgert, what can you say? He's been outstanding. 2 really, really competitive games for us. I thought what was impressive in Minnesota is he gives up a 2-run homer, 9-hole hitter. That's an easy spot to get distracted as a pitcher. It was the 8-hole hitter gets on, then a home run. You could easily lose focus right there, and he didn't. And he stayed in the game. He competed, gave us 5+ innings, and you couldn't ask anything more out of a starting pitcher. And then when you think about this is his rookie year, it's even more impressive.
When you look at the rest of the injury stuff, Jack Caglione, I know the reporting is that he's going to start a rehab assignment maybe as early as tonight, I guess, down there in Omaha. How long are you guys looking in Omaha? What are you guys thinking on the rehab stuff? Is it a week, and if he still feels fine, 2 weeks? Just kind of what's the timeline on it?
Yeah, timeline's hard to tell because we don't know how he's going to react. So it's hard to say he's going to be back by this date or that date. I think the big thing is he is playing tonight. He's starting that rehab tonight. I believe he's not scheduled to play tomorrow, and then he'll, from that point on, I think Thursday he'll be in the lineup every day, assuming, everything's feeling good. If he has any soreness, then we have to back off. So that's his timeline's dictated more by how he feels, but I do think it's a great time for him to just kind of reset, take some good at-bats, gain some confidence, and put himself in a position to be called back to the big club, whether it's prior to September 1st or post-September 1. We're just going to see how things are going from his health and also from a timing and rhythm standpoint in the batter spots.
Baseball sorts itself out usually, whether it's injuries, whether it's performance, but whenever that rehab assignment is over and he's good to come back to the big league club, do you envision him being an everyday player again for you guys?
Well, certainly. I mean, whether it's 2025, we know.
Oh, this year, sure.
We know
sure.
in the future,
yeah.
I mean, the makeup of the club's changed. We have a couple different players since he got injured with Grichuk and Yaz, and those guys are veterans, and they're going to be on the field. But there's plenty of ways to get Cags or anybody else. Michael Massey's going to be coming back. There's plenty of ways to get them all in the lineup. With Cags can play first, he can DH, he can play right. We have flexibility with all of our outfielders can go over to left field. We'd be a little hesitant to put Cags in left just because he hasn't played there at all. But Massey can play left. He can play second. There's going to be ways to get guys in the lineup. But, look, these games mean a lot. Performance is going to be a big dictator of who's in our lineup night to night. This isn't the minor leagues where we're trying to develop guys right now. We're down the home stretch. We've got to win a lot of freaking games, and that's how this thing's got to go. So based on how guys are playing is going to dictate who's in our lineup night to night.
What would you say, JJ, this is mostly like a fan sentiment. I don't know that this is, but the idea that people, I think this was a complaint of Q, and so then maybe people take it into the player stuff. This, idea that this team isn't full, has that killer instinct, the way people talk about 14 and 15. Do you, I'm guessing you would refute that, but what do you think about what is your sense of the team and that instinct and the idea that, the competitive drive is high enough to, keep pushing this year?
Well, I think the drive is there. I mean, I'm in the clubhouse just about every day, and I can tell you those guys are giving a lot of effort, and they care about what's going on. It's easy to point to World Series teams and say they had this great drive. Yeah, because October was great. But, there were some lulls in 14 and 15 and that we tend to forget because October was so special. We just got to get to October with this club and take care of our business every day. And that October magic, it happens in October. It doesn't happen in October, in August or September. It happens in October. So the point is we got to get there. We were a wild card team in 14 and just got hot as anything, going through the month of October. But the point is you got to get there. So we're not worried about the intensity of this club. Those guys play with passion. They play with fire. Personalities are different on this team than maybe any other team that we've had. Every team changes, but the competition, the desire to win, I can promise you, is there in that clubhouse right now.
J.J. Piccolo, Royals General Manager, Vice President of Baseball Operations, joins us every couple weeks here on 96.5 The Fan. Appreciate it, and we'll check in down the road.
All right, guys. Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you. That was our conversation earlier with J.J. Piccolo here on 96.5 The Fan. A couple things. I felt like you could tell there was a switch that flipped when we got to win some freaking games.
Yeah, it sounded like he wanted to cuss two different times.
Yeah.
I don't think he wanted to say freaking games.
No,
I think he wanted to say, we got to win some games,
They do. They got 43 left. They're 4 back at some point, and he acknowledged it, they got to get hot. They got to get hot. They don't look at it as we got to win 10 of the next 12 or something. That, as a player, that would drive you nuts. You can't do that.
No, but you won one yesterday. Make it 2 tonight.
But they recognize, 43 sounds like a lot of games, but there's a bunch of teams to jump. 4 back. You've got at some point you got to rattle off what we mentioned, which is now really 4-1 or 5-0 the rest of this 9-game stretch we talked about in order to give yourself a real shot.
Agreed. Interesting with the Jack stuff too. We'll keep an eye on that. The
Nationals, they're not a very good baseball team. If you can get up on them early again tonight, you can bury them. They're done. They're not coming back.
If last night's any indicator, their bullpen stinks.
It's the worst bullpen in baseball.
Oh, okay. Well, then
ERA
last night was a pretty good indicator. Keep the game close to the 5th, and you're probably in pretty good shape against the Nationals.
Yeah, they're
bullpen
number 30 in
bullpen
bad ERA, I believe.
Hey, Drew, can I ask you some advice, some golf advice before we get off the air?
Oh, okay, sure.
I have been asked to fill in a golf league tonight. I have agreed, even though I think that that's a dicey situation for me as someone
Okay.
who does not golf very often. I just so happened to golf on Saturday with a friend, and I could not hit an iron like a 6 or 7 or 8 to save my life. You got any tips? I need like a tip or something.
Well,
I'm trying not to
okay.
shoot a 70 on 9 holes tonight.
What
I don't
were
think I'll
you
shoot a 70.
doing? What was it? Were you chunking it?
What do you mean
Were
it was-
were you shanking it?
Oh,
Were
no,
you slicing
topping
it?
everything, just making zero good contact. I mean, I hit my driver okay, and it was in the fairway, and my short, like, pitching wedge and stuff was okay, but I could not hit a mid-iron to save my life. It was embarrassing. Every par 3, you were trying to put a bad,
Playing in a
terrible.
golf league today?
Yeah, yeah.
What?
Let's
I'm filling in.
go. I'm
Sometimes you gotta
excited
someone
for
fill in,
Cody.
you know?
We've been
You're
told
excited
that
for me?
We've
No
been
one's
told
excited for me.
Okay, hang on. So
I'll tell you what I shoot. I think I might shoot a 60.
So the over/under that we've been told for 9 holes is a 60.5. I don't think.
No chance.
I think
think I'm
I
over
think
that?
the over/under is a little
Dang.
bit too
I
high.
just
I
played.
have more faith in you, Cody. For 9 holes, I think you can break 60 today. 68 for 9 holes is insane.
He's going straight from
He's
doing
not-
a show
Cody
as
is not
well.
gonna shoot that.
He's not. Okay.
I will not be hitting the range ahead of time. If
He's
that
just going
says
in
anything.
there. Not
But I just
losing.
played. I just played.
And you said it was good?
That's not what I